Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. Yes, you do. Times Square can shine as bright as you. I swear it's true.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
What you do to me? It's what you do to me. What you do to me? What you do to me? What you do to me?
Sweet Texas, ain't no Belgium. Lay your car down, 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 down. Pocket Lexus, throw your keys up. Go round, 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 round.
Oh my, good Lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jerry Dale's got a history. There's a party downtown near 50. I think I'll take my whiskey and leave. My coffee black and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I take my whiskey and leave. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. You're too sweet for me. Everybody at the bar is good.
She's a bad thing, fine as hell, thick as full. Oh my God, that's my baby. Caroline, put it fine, mighty fine. Started really go to fine. That's true. Like a pool. Hold it, I'm really lit. It's looking like it's about time to keep up. Caroline, listen up. Don't wanna hear about your horoscope or what the future holds. Shut up and let's get it.
You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine, oh yeah.
Don't you know how lose one when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see?
You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
Don't you know how lose one when you're not next to me?
Special team, special plays, special players.
Hide away with me some more. You're just a hideaway. You're just a feeling. You let my heart escape. Beyond me, don't even like it. Find a way to stop the storm. Oh, baby, it's out of control. It's closing.
Girl, the way you move it got me in a trance. DJ turn me up, ladies get so jam. I'm a hustler, you gon' know the pain, and I'ma throw this money while you do it with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor, I love the way you do it, girl. All I wanna do is sit back and watch you move it. I'ma see you do this
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Feel like people. Don't stop believing.
It takes two to break a heart in two. Ooh, baby, you blame me, and baby, I blame you. Ooh.
Now you think about me when I go, sing that sweet like this song. Say you can't sleep, me I know, understand me, it's been so. Move it down, bright hopes, chill like Nintendo. Say you can't sleep, me I know, understand me, it's
I
been
had
so.
some help. It ain't like I can make this kind of mess all by myself. Don't act like you ain't helped me pull that bottle off the shelf. And deep in every weekend, if you couldn't tell, they say teamwork makes it.
Hey, yo, where'd you get that cheese, Danny?
When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always made you stand out in a crowd. But someone picked you from the bunch. One glance was all it took. Now it's much too late for me to take a second look.
Ain't no Holly Berry or Hallelujah. Pick your poison, tell me what you do. Everybody gon' respect the shoe, but the one in front of the gun lives forever.
Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I was glad to let you go. But now since I see
Bitch, you make they call me Superman. Leap tall hoes in a single bound. I'm single now. Got white ass, kiss my dick, get my cash. I'd rather have you whip my ass.
you say that I'm messing with your head. All 'cause I was making out with your friend. You're on your knees, begging, please stay with me. But honestly, I just need to be a little crazy. All my life I've been good, and now I'm thinking, what the hell? All I want is to mess around, and I don't really care about.
Show yourself, take only what you need from it. A family of trees falling, being haunted. Show yourself, take only what you need from it.
Thinking, what the hell?
Family of trees falling, being haunted.
What the hell?
Yes, I wanna make it. I'm a $1 million baby. Don't ask me. Hell no. 1738. I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Sent your pretty ass soon as you came in the door. I just wanna chill, got a sack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced her to my stove. Showed her how to whip and now she remix it for love. Slang when you notice the stripes, the dirt in your fries. Hope it's right when you die. Old and bony. And I get high with my baby. I just left the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby. Yeah. And I get ride with my baby. I'll be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby. Yeah.
Jumping off the
the porch like mom's not home. Tell me why the best things feel so wrong. Summer nights, love them how they take so long. Run with the feeling of being alive while we're still young.
Ain't it fun? Living in the real world. Ain't it good? But yeah, all alone. Don't I wanna be the one that I call baby? Concussion, big boys and boys. Shoot another shot, try to stop the feeling. You can say just the way you are. Think of your excuse, the stupid reason. Yeah, to shut the world, just to stop the feeling. Who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando?
Alors on danse. Alors on danse. Alors on danse. Alors on danse. Alors on danse.
Don't get me started, love. I've had too much drink. Had too much time to think. So leave me alone.
One kiss is all it takes. Fall in love with me. Possibilities, I look like all you need. One kiss is all it takes. Fall in love with me. Possibilities, I look like all you need.
To all the bitch assholes that hate me the most. Oh yeah, I hate you too. To all the bum ass thugs that just wanna talk shit, I hate you too. To all the high class ass that's too hot too fast. Oh yeah, I hate you too. Hey, doses and mimosas, champagne, gang.
Shake that ass for Drake. Now shake that ass for me. Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees. Hands on
I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile. Ask her if she wants to stay a while.
I don't care if Monday's black, Tuesday, Wednesday, hard to tell. Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love.
Then she will be loved. Then she will be loved. Then she will be loved.
It's Friday, I'm in love.
Never heard of Dasher?
No.
Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Gucci down to the socks like I'm Iggy Papa. Keep your girl head in my Tommy boxes. But really doubt she a silly hoe. Cause she know the freaking style getting pretty dope. She don't get nothing from my nigga though. All she get is hard dick and some Cheerios. Baby.
That when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and around thing in your face, you get How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall.
Can't help myself, I count the stars. Don't know where I should be.
Get down on it, come on in. Get down on it, you really want it. Get down on it, you gotta feel it.
We gon' fuck up the night. Black lights, then she smiles. Unapologetic, gonna fuck up the night. Fuck up the night. We can fuck up tonight. We gon' fuck up the night. It's always darkest before the dawn. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Oh, oh. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Oh, oh. And it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake him up.
We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Whoa, living on a prayer.
Like a man dick?
Yeah, like a man dick.
Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you should dig it up. Take it, baby, take it, love it. Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you should dig it up. Take it, baby, take it, love it. Tonight I'ma let you be a captain. Tonight I'ma let you be a thing, yeah. Tonight I'ma let you be a rider. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, baby. Tonight I'ma let it be fire. Tonight I'ma let you take me higher. Tonight, baby, we can get it on, yeah, we can get it on, yeah.
All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift, your ride, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Keep your head still, I'll be your thrill. The night will go on, my little
Say my
way.
name, darling, I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down, don't let me down.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I'm for real. Never meant to make no daughter cry. I apologize, truly cry.
Just come outside for the night. Yeah. Take your time, get your light. Dirty night.
I don't wanna feel how I did last night. I don't wanna feel how I did last night. Anything please, have mercy on me. Take this pain away. Just give me my symptoms, I don't wanna feel.
Off my face, don't know where I am, cause I got my drugs from Amsterdam. Off my face, don't know where I am, cause I got my drugs from Amsterdam.
369 girls wanna drink wine. Tell the man not to waste your time. If the man broke, the man he a joke. So you gotta get loose with the Henny and the Coke. 3, 2, 1 girls wanna have fun. If the man don't dance, he's done. Tell him move on, get the man gone. Now can I get a Coke with my rum?
Look at the stars, look how they shine for
I just gotta see it for myself. I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all, but I'm not the guy you're taking home. Ooh, I keep dancing on my own. I'm not the guy you're taking home. I keep dancing on my own.
And I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself, God. Everybody knows and I feel left out. Girl, you got me down, you got me stressed out. Cause ever since I left the city, you are a cinema. I could watch you forever. Action, thriller. I could watch you forever. You are a cinema, a Hollywood treasure. Love you.
Nothing that if I tell everyone how I made this money, that it's going to affect me in any sort of way. AMD, if we get a quick little pop above $12, I'm thinking about maybe a quick little short over on AMD. Finger on the trigger to lock in profits when it starts moving back on up. Here we go. Nice job. Let's take it. $979 in profit. Look at this spike, baby. Taking some gains right off the top right here. 124,000.
You just gotta know what you're doing.
200
Every single person can be successful.
dollars in profit.
There's no reason for you not to become a full-time day
Now
trader.
we're currently
and
up
even have
$2,100. Let's just keep it going even more. I want every single person. Now we're up $2,500. Now we're going up to $117.40.
It's not like it's a competition. It's if I tell you how I was able to do this,
$100
go out, make that money, make a killer, and let's all absolutely crush it together.
Let's go, baby. Let's see this thing keep unfolding even farther here. We're up $1,100 within the first 5 minutes of the day. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic.
When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May.
And for a fortnight there, we were forever wanting to do so baptized. About whoever now you in my backwater, turn into good neighbors, for white water's flowers. I wanna kill her.
My girl,
Ladies and gentlemen, woo! We are back ready to rock and roll on this day. How's everyone feeling today? Thursday morning. Let's get all set, ready to go. Let's get ourselves excited and let's get ourselves motivated to be able to go ahead and make some money today. Every single person. That's what it comes on down to, team. Every single person, I want to see you guys leaving green. I want you guys again walking away from Tradecaster today saying, man, honey, you want to go out and get that 2 for $20 tonight at Texas Roadhouse? Don't worry, I'll pay for it. That's what I want. I want every single person getting a little extra soup Getting yourself a little, instead of the 8 ounce, we're going up to the 10 ounce. 10 ounce, go up to the 12 ounce. Let's keep building some things on up a little bit. I'm all lubed up and ready to go today, traders. It's a big day. Big opportunities. So we are going to do what we always do. Get you guys prepared. Get you guys confident. Get you guys educated. And make sure you guys are leaving profitable. Obviously, it is an absolute blessing to be here with you guys right now. To be able to wake up every single day, come on over towards the live stream, start again projecting the scanners, going over and doing all my live trades in front of you. Woo! It doesn't get much better than this. All I ask again today, we are live over on YouTube. Smash that thumbs on up. All I ask from you guys, I appreciate you. Show it some love. Smash over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't. And let's get ourselves prepared for this day. Also, guys, if you want to go the extra mile, share the screen. If you want to go the extra mile, start hanging up some flyers outside your neighborhood saying Dex live today. If you really want to go the extra mile, get one of those planes. Get one of those planes with that drag that banner behind it. And just say, hey, Deck is now live today. So, I mean, hey, go as far as you want. But as little as, again, smashing the thumbs on up. Traders, let's talk about it all. We got a lot to dive into. Gonna turn off the music right here and make sure that we're all set, ready to go. So, what are going to be the best plays of the day? What should we be focusing on? What should we be looking at? Well, today's gonna be a big day because the S&P 500 is currently sitting at record highs. Traders. We have been talking about how the S&P 500 is going to be making a move. Making a move because Jerome Powell is going to be speaking in the next 8 minutes. Making a move because the S&P 500 is setting itself up in a perfect chart setup. Traders, let's head on over to Fox Runner and get all of our ideas that we need. And again, make sure every single person is all set. So let's head on over to the news alerts page here. And let's talk about what the S&P 500 is going to be doing today. So it says S&P 500. Everything you need to know. Expect to see strong movement today at the bell. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 both retreated from recent reworks of Wednesday. The Dow slipped 0.7% during regular trading, and the S&P 500 gave up 0.19%. It was fairly broad, a bit not all that drastic pullback. 9 of the S&P 500's 11 sectors closed in negative territory yesterday. However, we are seeing a gap up this morning. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell will give opening remarks on Wednesday, on Tuesday, what the heck is today? Today is Thursday, thank you. New York Fed President John Williams and Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Michael Barr also scheduled to speak. So gold is near record highs. So as Jerome Powell is starting to speak here, traders, we have gold up next to record highs. That is something that we definitely want to be aware of. If everyone is interested in gold or have any sort of long-term investments in gold and silver, they are currently pushing on up towards highs. So today's going to be a big day. And the whole reason on why today is going to be a big day is because we are going to be having a lot of movement at the bell. Not only are we sitting next to record highs, we also have Jerome Powell speaking. Not only is Jerome Powell speaking, but we have gold sitting at record highs. Not only is gold sitting at record highs, but the S&P 500 is inside this awesome squeeze pattern. So let's make sure we take a look at it. It says the S&P 500 charting. After 3 days of alerting this wedge, the SPY has finally broke out. We are now at brand new record highs only an hour before Jerome Powell takes the stage. When taking a look at the chart, we could see old 571.50 resistance is now going to hold up as new support. Watch for 575 to hold up as the next natural resistance line and where reversals could take place. And to be blunt, the sky is the limit. We are at new highs. There's not much to slow down the market other than itself. $600 is the next main resistance line coming on up. So the thing is, traders, this is what the wedge is all about on the S&P 500. This is a perfect wedge. This is a perfect setup, right? If you guys have been part of Tradecaster, if you guys have been following me on social media, if you guys have anything, if you guys have been watching me in any sort of way, right? If you guys have Fox Runner News Scanner, everything has been perfect as for the S&P 500. Take a look at how great this has been. This has been the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the 7th day. We've had bounce off the lows, bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and now here is that breakout. The S&P 500 has had top resistance, and the S&P 500 has been getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until a breakout finally occurred. Traders, this is how we have to be able to read chart patterns and be able to read chart setups and be able to get good ideas about these plays. We should all know, and if we don't know, we should be in the video library studying on up, that wedges lead to squeezes. Right? Here's a very small example. We have a wedge. When we get to that corner, we get a squeeze and we get a breakout. We have a wedge. When we get to the corner, we get a squeeze and we get a breakout. We get a wedge. And when we get to the corner, we get a squeeze and we get a breakout. And a wedge. And when we get to the corner, we get a squeeze and a breakout. So you could see how these wedges are leading towards these squeezes and these breakouts and these spikes and these climbs, and that's what we're constantly looking for in the market. We're constantly looking for wedges on which way is the market going to be squeezing and moving up towards. So the beautiful thing here is the S&P 500 has been on a 7-day uptrend with, again, 7-day strong top resistance, which is now leading towards a breakout up towards brand new highs. So this chart setup right here should make it visually easy to be able to understand what we have at this moment. But we do have right here, of course, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking this morning. He's actually going to start speaking in the next 3 minutes. So again, we probably will see some movement in the market. Gold is near highs and the S&P 500 is set up ready to go. So the big thing is, team, the S&P 500 today, 575 is going to be the next main resistance line, which we are touching at this moment. Do you guys think, buying today on the S&P 500 is a good idea, buying calls? Or should we look to do puts and see if we can get, some sort of pullback? Well, we can discuss that coming on up in the next, 10 minutes or so. But what I do want to get prepared on is there any other play than the S&P 500? Is there any other stocks that we want to be focusing on? Well, guys, we do have some other plays here. TBIO. Right, TBIO is a play that is currently, again, sitting right here. Big time spike, had a big gap up across the board. We have right here, traders, a very nice number one top gainer. Stock's up 115%, 600,000 in float. We also have KTTA. Guys, anyone realize KTTA went from $4 and is now up towards $7? So I think the most important thing for us to do right now is let's break down TBIO, let's break down KTTA, and let's figure out why both these plays are up. So how can we do that, guys? Well, every single morning over on Fox Runner, we do have the alerts and the answers given to us. So for instance, TBIO came out with news last night. Here's an entire breakdown of TBIO so we can understand what's going on here. So it says TBIO and Beckham Coulter Life Science collaborate to revolutionize DNA and mRNA synthesis. So traders, what we really have here is a collaboration. We do have TBIO with a press release last night talking about a collaboration, and that's what's bringing in this hype. We always want to be confident. Why is TBIO the number one top gainer in the market? Why is this stock moving? Why is this stock spiking? So it says TBIO is not on the morning news scanner because the catalyst was released last night at 4:05 p.m. As of now, TBIO is the number one top gainer in the stock market with a 108% gain. TBIO has not been moving much since last night, but it is holding its gains and it does have 1 million in float. So what's the best way to trade TBIO this morning? The best way is to be able to play the channel that has been holding and which has formed over the past 15 hours. As of now, 460 is the main support, with 575 holding as top resistance. If you take a look at the past chart history pattern, you will notice that TBIO has reversed 3 times at 575, which has been a great shorting opportunity, and it has multiple dip buys at 460. Now, if you guys do not know what a channel pattern is, simply enough, it's just going to be a price that's moving in between 2 parallel lines. So for instance, TBIO spiked on up, dumped on down, spiked on up, dumped on down, spiked on up, dump on down. It's a channel. It's like a hallway. You guys can see we have one side of the wall, the other side of the wall. We have a river, and these are the river banks on the side, and guess what? We just flow in the middle. So basically what we can always realize, it's like a ping pong ball. We hit the top, we come to the bottom. We hit the bottom, we bounce to the top. We hit the top, we fall to the bottom. We hit the bottom, we fall, bounce up to the top. Right now, when we take a look at the TBIO, it's a number one top gainer in the stock market. 612,000 in float. Channel pattern with 575 top resistance and 460 support, and 200-day moving average at 555. So you can also see the 200-day moving average is at 555, which has been strong resistance. So really, when we break this on down and we ask ourselves, why is TBIO the number one top gainer of the day? We did have a press release last night. We are inside of a channel pattern as of now. A break of the channel pattern will lead towards a very nice squeeze and run, but we really just have our answers if we wanted to trade TBIO. TBIO, what can we do here, guys? TBIO, let's go ahead and just make something similar here where we could see, boom, there's our answer. Top resistance, 555, bottom support right around that 475 area, and we are bouncing back and forth. You want to trade TBIO? Just keep going back and forth, back and forth. But what can you guys realize? 200-day moving average is going to be some strong resistance. So just like that, we're already forming a game plan. Just like that, we're already getting some ideas. Just like that, we're already saying, okay, TBIO, I know why this one's up. What about KTTA? KTTA, this one looks a lot better, doesn't it, guys? KTTA, this one has been spiking and climbing and moving and ripping and running. What's going on with KTTA here? Jerome Powell about to take the stage. Here we go, KTTA. KTTA has positive data on phase 1 trials. So it says positive safety, tolerability. We do have pharmacokinetic and preliminary efficiency data on its phase 1 trials. So essentially what we have here, guys, is we have positive data on phase 1 trials. Absolutely awesome, absolutely great. Here's a little bit more of that press release to read into it. But it states right here, team, KTTA has just released positive data from its phase 1 trials. This is a press release we will always want to watch, but there is one con. And the one con is that it's only phase 1 data. If you do not know, there is phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 data. As you go up the phases, it will get tougher to be able to beat. They will be rarer, harder to achieve. So when you have a phase 2 or a phase 3, that's usually what leads to a very big breakout. But the thing is, phase 1 is still good. It's just not as good as phase 2 and phase 3. So KTTA has room to spike today to its 200-day moving average at 627. Please be ready for selling and a potential reversal near this price point. Take a look at the past chart history. We can see a sell-off almost every time KTTA has touched its 200-day moving average over the last 6 months. So what do we have here, guys? If you guys take a look at the chart right above me, hit the red line, fell on down. 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 What's the good news at this point? The good news is, guys, KTTA has broken the red line for the first time in probably the last 6 months, right? We have not been able to get above this area. But you know what? We are now. So let me ask you guys a question. If KTTA has had very strong resistance at the price of the 200-day moving average, which is at the price of 620, what is now going to happen? Well, this is now going to be very strong support, right? Very strong support is what we want to be looking at. Very strong support is what we want to be focusing on at 620. So we could easily get a dip buy. We could easily get a bounce play. We could easily be able to see this thing move on up right next to that against 620 mark. So if we do get a pullback today, KTTA is going to be the play that we want to be focusing on and is the play that we want to be looking on if we start getting a lot of momentum towards the stock over here. Wednesday's top gainers, Wednesday's top gainers and Wednesday's top losers. We had a couple, but nothing really too crazy yesterday. Really the main things I'd be focusing on if I were you guys is number one, KTTA. Obviously we had this hot press release right here. That's what brought in a lot of this hype and momentum. After that, we had TBIO, which again has a lot of hype and a press release right here. And then we have the S&P 500, which has this perfect wedge pattern, which is trying to squeeze. There was a press release right here as well, SVRE. SVRE did have a press release, but I think that one basically just dropped right back on down. SVRE did have distribution agreement in the United States. Did try to get a little bit of a pop behind it, but unfortunately that one is starting to fade right back on down. Let's just double check to make sure we have not missed any sort of news whatsoever. TBIO was last night. KTTA should be the number one top gainer this morning. Let's click the press release tab, or excuse me, let's click the all news tab right here, and we could just see what are the top gainers on the day. You guys can see KTTA 3-star press release. 3-star press release letting us know how good it is. Well, why is it good? Well, we have positive phase 1 data that has to do with cancer. Makes it very easy, makes it very simple, understanding why the stock is spiking on up. Here's the entire press release. We also have on top of that, we had NMRD just came on out, 922. Let's see what we have right here. NMRD 922 just spiked 145% with an 8K filing. Let's see what's going on with this 8K filing here. It says departure of directors of certain officers. So it's a departure of directors of certain officers. Maybe again, there's some bad apples in the group that maybe they fired off. Maybe they're saying, hey, you know what? We're firing these employees right here. We're firing these guys. These guys are moving on. So again, let's take a look over on NMRD real quick. See if that play, what's happening here. No, NMRD, that stock actually just got delisted. So that play is actually delisted here, and that is not actually a top gainer that we're seeing right now at this moment. So it seems like KTTA is the number one play. KTTA, number one play. KTTA, positive press release. TBIO had the news yesterday. We had all of our news data right here, which again, we'll continue to keep our eyes peeled on, but we are all set. We have an entire game plan, and we are all ready to rock and roll. I think the number one thing to do, guys, if I was you and I'm sitting in this chair right now, you are either looking for a game plan on KTTA or you are looking for a game plan on the S&P 500. I would not look elsewhere. Well, Dek, what about TBIO? If you want to do the channel setup, as we talked about, if you want to do the channel setup back and forth, and do some small trades, not opposed to that in any sort of way, but there's more money to be made on KTTA to spike up to 875. And again, S&P 500, which again is going to be opening up, very hot and get very crazy in the next 4 minutes. So, traders, what it really comes on down to, as we have talked about multiple times, let's take a look at the chart one more time over on the S&P 500 for anyone that's joining us at this moment. Let's just bring this bad boy on up. S&P 500, 15-minute time frame. Okay, this is all this is. 15-minute time frame. Beautiful uptrend. And then on top of that, guys, we had this strong resistance. Dek, if we get a pullback, where could we bounce off this morning? I would say let's look off the old area of high. What was the old high area? Right here. That was 572.20, I want to say it was. So let's go over to the S&P 500, switch on over to a 15-minute time frame. Let's go 15-minute time frame, make this nice and large. And let's say if we want to look for a possible dip buy, that's going to be back on down towards around that 573-ish mark. We do have obviously a lot of potential. This beautiful squeeze pattern has happened. Beautiful squeeze pattern. Nice rip, nice run. We have room to fall back on down towards this old spiking high of 572.90. And now again, we are testing that 575 mark. I'm probably going to give this day, 15 minutes to kind of show me which direction it's going to go, find a better idea, and then of course go from there, right? So let's make sure that we're all set, ready to rock and roll, dialed in, and ready to see again where this momentum is going to be able to take us. So I am fired on up at this time, see where this momentum is going to take us, and make sure that we're all set, ready to go. So I am ready to rock. Mike F. Dek, I'm going to purchase a lifetime membership over on Tradecaster. You are one of my favorite stock traders out there. Mike F., thank you so much. You've changed my trading forever. You have taken me from A to Z. Stop it with the compliments. Guys, I love the support. I love, again, how much you guys, again, are always so supportive every single day over in chat. And, of course, the proof is in the pudding, baby. That's what it's all about. The proof is out there. Traders, if anyone did not see this, I also want to throw this out here right now. This is absolutely incredible before we start off this day. Right? I do want to throw this out here right at this moment. This was amazing. As a mentor, as someone, again, who teaches people how to trade stocks, I want to get this going right here, traders. This is one of the best things that I can see any day. Any day, it does not get much better than this. So for anyone who does not know, our Paz is a member over in Tradecaster. And she is right here in the middle. She came out to the Ski Mastermind last January. And she sent me an email yesterday and said, Dek, ever since I went to that Ski Mastermind, I have now completed 15 prop firm challenges and have crossed $1 million in profits. So these are all of her challenges that she has been accepted, that she has passed, that she has accomplished, and she has crossed the $1 million mark. How insane is that, guys? So this was our last Ski Mastermind we had. You can see there's me. There's a few other traders that came on out, which was absolutely amazing. She, again, was working on her challenges. We dialed it on in. She got all set up, and now she has passed the $1 million barrier, which is just insane to ever see as a mentor. It's just incredible. So again, shout out to you, Arpaz. Welcome. Shout out to the $1 Million Club right there. And never stop running, baby. Absolutely great work. So traders, let's get ourselves prepared on this day. Let's get ourselves going. Bringing up our scanners. Every breakout scanner good. Ready to rock. SPY here. Switching on over towards everything we need. S&P 500. Why do these charts look a little different here? I don't want these. I want these. Yes, these right here. All right, traders. S&P 500, getting ourselves dialed on in. Let's go ahead and throw on the VWAP indicator potentially. VWAP indicator, making sure we're all set. Remember, if we do fall at the start of the day, 572.90 will be the dip buy. Dek, why would we look at entries right around 572.90? That was the previous old spiking high. So let's just be prepared here. If I'm going to get filled, I'm going to let you guys know right now exactly what my order is going to be. I'm going to have SPX. I am not going to do September 26th. I don't like doing same day expiration, too much risk. I probably will do September 27th. September 27th is not today, it's tomorrow, especially if I'm just doing a day trade. I'm giving myself a little bit of time. Then on top of that, I like to go slightly out of the money. I am looking still for about another $1 drop. SPX is currently sitting at the price of $5,760. Most likely, this is going to be a great area that I'm going to place as my strike price. Dek, why would you place this area as your strike price? Because I expect it to fall back on down, so I want to get filled down low down here, and when we bounce back up, we'll bounce back above 5,760. Then on top of that, I would be looking for calls, and I probably would just do one contract at a time and slowly again limit myself on in. Now, let's be honest here, traders. If we break this on down, we can go back, as we said before, to about a 15-minute time frame. And we could see that this was the old spiking high back on 9-19. On September 19th, we had 572.90 as our old record high. Now, that is what we would be expecting to be able to hold up as a great dip buy if we come down towards this area. Now, is it just going to be perfect 572.95? The answer is no. It might again get a little bit of a bounce slightly higher. It might get a little bit of a bounce slightly lower. It might get a perfect bounce right at that area. The best way to be able to trade this is realizing that this right here, this black line, which I'm going to turn into a blue line, is the best area because that is the old spiking high that should hold up as our floor. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get in slightly early, and there should be people that get in a little bit underneath it as well. And then you should have a stop loss right here underneath all your averages. So the best way to be able to trade this is to get in slightly above 572.90, get in at 572.90, get in slightly underneath 572.90, and then on top of that, you get out and move on if this play again starts cracking underneath it all and you say, okay, I'm going to have a stop loss. Well, Dek, is there a way that I can be even safer? And there is a way that you could be safer. If you're saying, I don't want to go against the momentum. Has anyone ever said that to themselves? I don't want to try to catch a falling knife. I don't want to go against the momentum. Something that you guys can do is say, okay, well, let me go ahead and look for this. I know that the market's falling and fading and dropping right here at this moment. Instead of me trying to time it perfectly and then still see the S&P 500 go lower and lower and lower and end up taking a loss, why don't I just, again, watch, wait, know my areas. Let's see if we get a bounce at my area. And if we get a bounce, let's again watch to see if we get a higher low. And then let's go see and we get a higher low. And then at least this is showing us that we have found that bottom and momentum is starting to shift. When we talk about the S&P 500 traders, when we talk about the S&P 500, it's very difficult to nail the exact bottom, to nail the exact low, to nail the exact price. Because what do I always say? The S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the United States. Basically what we have right here, traders, is we have a train, right? We have a train right here, and this train is going 100 miles, 200 miles per hour. If we believe that this train is going to just stop right at this point, it's very difficult. A lot of times you stop at this point, but the train has so much weight behind it. The train has so much momentum behind it. So what does the train do a lot of times? The train is going to keep on skidding and sliding a little bit farther, isn't it? The train is going to keep going and go a little bit lower. So how many times have you guys ever got in on a bounce play where you said, all right, Dek, here comes my bounce. I'm going to enter right here on my dip buy. I'm going to enter right here on my bounce play. And then the stock goes a little bit lower. And you get out only for, again, 5 minutes later for it to bounce back on up here. So something I have been doing, which has been helpful to me, is realizing, okay, hey, this is the area that I want to see a dip buy and bounce. But instead of, again, trying to buy it on the downside where all this momentum is leaking on down and I know the stock might go a little bit lower than what I expect, something I like to do is wait for a bounce and then wait for some sort of higher lows to form. Now, again, I have confidence. Now, again, I know I'm not going to just jump in and end up taking a loss. Now I know I'm not going to just jump in and end up taking some sort of unnecessary trade. I can be able to see that the S&P 500 is very trendy. The S&P 500 loves being part of trend lines, guys. If you guys take a look over on the S&P 500, I mean, even if we take a look over on the 15-minute time frame here, we know that the SPY, I mean, let's just go ahead and take a look back at what we had right here. The S&P 500 loves riding trend lines. If we could be able to find trend lines, find consistency, that's where, again, we could be able to make some of the most money. That's where we could be able to make some of the most cash. So the S&P 500, do I think it's going to come all the way back down to this trend line, all the way back down to 571? I don't think so. I think that would be a very big drop. But I do think, again, the S&P 500 is going to come down somewhere near the support line. I don't know the exact area. So what's the safest way for me to trade is let's wait for a bounce. Instead of me pulling the trigger right there, let's wait for some sort of higher low. We know the momentum is going to take the S&P 500 to, again, different areas than we might not expect. So let's wait for a higher low to form so we can trade with confidence. So S&P 500, Dek, we're getting close to the dip area. Now remember, I'm not trying to, again, just catch this. Right now, again, me trying to catch the S&P 500 is me trying to catch like a falling knife. Cuts your hand. Woo! The thing is, we don't want to do that. Let's wait for a higher low to form. Let's wait for the downtrend to break, and let's wait for momentum to start moving towards the upside. That will give us a lot more potential. Now, if you are, again, getting a little risky, if you're someone that, again, likes to get a little crazy, if you guys are, again, someone that likes to put the pedal down when you see a yellow light, maybe, again, someone that says, you know, hey, there's a recycling bin open, but I still threw my plastic bottle away in the waste. If you guys are, again, someone that goes a little bit nuts like that, you could look for a bounce play right again at that 573 area, that 572.90, the area of the dip buy. But if you guys want to wait for a little bit more of confidence, guess what? You know, you want to wait for a little bit of a higher low. Higher low setup is going to be, you know, much better. So let's, again, continue to keep our eyes peeled on this. Traders, that's what it's all about in stock trading. Stock trading, it's all about, again, you know, we talked about this earlier. We talked about when we think of the market, the best way to think of the market in every single sense is think about the stock market as essentially every morning we have a 9,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. We have no idea what the picture is. We just have all these little pieces on the floor, and we need to figure out what this picture is going to be. The people that can figure out what the picture is going to be the quickest, the earliest, they're going to get the most points. Just like if you ever watch the game of Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, you have all these blank spaces. You put in a couple letters. And then guess what? You have to try to figure out what that saying is. What is on that saying right there, or that thing, or that person, or whatever, again, the topic may be. And if you can answer it quickly, you're going to be able to make a lot of money. Same exact thing with the stock market. The stock market, we have this picture here, and we're trying to figure out what is this picture going to do? Where is this picture going to develop? How can we get in and know that we're going to make money? Because we don't want to, again, guess the wrong answer and end up losing. We want to be able to be correct. But the thing that you need to remember, right? The thing that you need to remember here is if you wait too long, there's less money to be made. If you go in too early, there's a better chance of you losing. So where's the sweet spot? If I wait until 1 o'clock to trade, momentum's gone, volume's gone, hype's gone, activity's gone, there's not really much money to be made. But if I trade within the first 5 minutes, well, guys, we might only have 2 or 3 pieces of this jigsaw puzzle put together. We might only have 1 letter out there, you know, and Vanna White's just sitting on the side, you know, saying, oh, I have no idea what this is either. So we want to wait for maybe a couple letters. We want to wait for the corners to be filled in. When I take a look over on the S&P 500, all I have at this moment is saying, hey, I think we could get a dip buy somewhere near our old spiking high. Right? So there's our old spiking high. We definitely got close to that first dip buy opportunity to try to get a little bit of a bounce back on up. We'll see if, again, buyers are going to be able to build some sort of higher lows and start getting a little bit more momentum. So as of now, S&P 500, we again had a big red candle, came on down towards the price of 573.35. We didn't come exactly down to the price of 572.90, but as I said, it's very tough to be able to figure out the exact price when we're talking about the S&P 500, the biggest ETF in the markets. But we're trying to, again, you know, have all of our chart resistance, all of our chart support to give us the best, highest quality answers. So, SPY, let's see if we can start building some higher lows. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see where, again, the S&P 500 is going to take us next. Oh, baby. Jay Sniggies right here says, Dek, not a bad way, not a bad month, part-time trading on and off. So, again, Jay Sniggle, he's a part-time trader, and he's up $8,349 on the month. Oh, baby. Imagine being a part-time trader and, again, making $8,000 a month. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Imagine that. Hey, yeah, I do my normal 9-to-5 job. You know, normal 9-to-5 job. I get paid like $4,000 a month. Part-time, I again log on to Tradecaster. I trade for about 20 minutes every single day. Now I got $8,000 at the end of my month. Traders, that is amazing. That is awesome. Incredible to see. Let that be motivation. Let that be, again, inspiration. Let that be, someone give me another word that ends with ishin. Got a big day here. So traders, notice we are still dropping. Still dropping, still getting weaker. That's a great question. Ryan asks, hey, Dek, what time frame do we use for us to be able to get to realize when a high or low is going to form? The very simple answer is, the closer the time frame, the less accuracy you will be. So the closer the time frame, the weaker it will be, the less accurate it will be. The larger the time frame, the better, the more accurate it will be. But just like we talked about before, the larger the time frame, if we go into a 60-minute time frame and say, okay, hey, I could see a big uptrend at this point. The thing is, we are waiting 1 hour, 2 hours for an uptrend to develop, when the thing is, we want to probably be in before that. Remember when we talked about, the jigsaw puzzle, we don't want to be too late. We talked about, again, the Wheel of Fortune, and we talked about we don't want to wait until every single letter is put in except for one. We want to try to find that happy medium. So the thing is, yes, I'm in a 1 minute time frame right now. And, I really want to be clear that we are going to be building higher lows before I pull the trigger. All right. Now, if you are saying, hey, Dek, well, right now we have lower highs, don't we? You guys can see at this moment, aren't bears in control? We have a lower high here, a lower high here. I mean, we're still falling. I mean, everything at this moment is pointing down. If someone said, oh, Dek, I'm going to do a call contract right now, I don't see a reason yet. Guys, we are underneath the VWAP. We just hit brand new record highs and are falling since the record highs. We are, again, fading on down at this moment. We still have room to fall down towards around 572.90, which is another 60 cents. We don't have any sort of bullishness on this chart at all right now. The SPY spiked on up, profit taking's happening. The SPY has been red for the last 12 minutes straight. The SPY is on a downtrend. The SPY is building lower highs. The SPY is underneath the VWAP, and the SPY still has another 50 cents to fall before, again, we find our actual support of the old record highs. So the thing is, for me, I don't see one reason to do calls at this moment. Not one reason yet. So why would I, again, say, this is the issue. This is the issue, guys. Now someone goes, well, my gut, I got a good feeling about this. All right, I got a good feeling about this. Oh, Dek, right now, again, what'd you just pull out your pocket there? I'm rubbing, again, my lucky chicken foot. Oh, I got a good feeling about this. Guys, if you guys got a lucky chicken foot, or you guys have some sort of like old pizza crust that you guys wear around in your shoe because, again, you feel like it's lucky, throw that thing in the garbage right now, okay? Nonsense. If you, again, try to go ahead and make money off your feelings, off, again, your gut instincts, off all that, it's never going to work. Never. Okay? Well, I feel like it's going to do this. I feel like it's going to do this, Dek. You know who says that? Literally people who have blown up probably 5 different accounts. People, again, who have never been successful in trading. And you know who you are. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to beat you on down with a bat. I'm trying to lift you on up here, baby. Bring you on out of that darkness. That's what I want. But sometimes we just got to be brutally honest and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I got to do a little bit more studying on the chart. Maybe I got to have a little bit more patience. Maybe I got to be a little bit more disciplined. Maybe I got to realize that this random chicken foot that I've been carrying around for the last couple of years has been the reason why I'm still single, right? Maybe we want to think about that for a little bit. So the S&P 500, we want to wait until we have higher lows, until we have that dip buy off those record highs, until, again, we start getting back above the VWAP. So all things that we are all set here. So right now, traders, we got SPY still trying to hold itself on up. Let's get a little bit of tunes going. I always like to just throw in a little bit of that background. I know we've just been a little fired on up here so far today, getting ourselves excited, getting ourselves motivated, getting ourselves to see what's going to be coming on up. It's going to be an absolutely great day, an absolutely awesome opportunity, an absolutely, chance to trade with you guys. It is going to be fantastic. So I'm gassed up on this day. Hey, Claire! Claire! Put on a little music, just a little background music. Yeah, just a nice, calm, smooth, collective. You know the drill. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate it. So let's see what we get. Good? No, turn it down. No, the other, grab it, turn it the other way. Turn it the other way. Yeah, that way. All right, traders, let's get ourselves prepared. We got a big day ahead. Got a big day, big opportunity. Shout out to everyone joining us today. Absolutely beautiful specimens of humans. Absolutely love it, guys. Shout out to you guys being here for this fall trading session. 9:45 a.m. Guys, we are coming on up to one of the most special times of the year, as you guys know. Only 18 days away. 18 short days away until we kick off the 2024 Small Account Challenge. $4,000, $30,000 goal, 60-day period, underneath the margin account, underneath the PDT rule, doing it live in front of you, and I'm giving away every single dollar of this trading account to the traders and members of TradeCaster, the people that are joining, the people that are watching, the people that are participating. I don't want to be a mentor that is sitting on the sidelines and being someone that just posts P&Ls on Twitter. No one likes that guy. Oh, look how much money I made. Oh, look how much money I made. Guys, you know what I'm going to do? Small account. Do it together. If you lose the money I make from the small account, the money that I'm making from this account, I'm giving it to you guys. I want to, again, give the money to the people who deserve it, the people who actually put in the work, the people that are saying, hey, Dek, I'm here every single day. I'm trying to make this my job. I'm trying to make this career. I just don't have the funds. We go 40,000 to 30,000, 40,000 to 80,000, 4,000 to 100,000, whatever it is. I'm giving every single dollar away. So, I got motivation to grow this account. Feed the chat. Feed these traders. If I had someone do this when I first started stock trading, if I had someone, again, a mentor say, hey, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to give you the money to go ahead. Don't got to give it back to me. Just, again, I want to be someone special in your life. Someone, again, be able to help you take you to the next level. You kidding me? Then every set now and then, we still got, YouTube trolls. We still get TikTok trolls. We still get people, coming on over and saying, I hate this guy. You probably hate America too, don't you? Get out of here. S&P 500. Let's get ourselves, all set, ready to go on this day. Big times ahead. Big times ahead. The small account challenge will only be on tradecaster.com. The only place, guys. If you can't show me you're committed enough to be, again, a TradeCaster member, then again, there's no access to the small account. I want people that are going to show up every single day. I want people that are going to put in the work. I want people that so again, it will not be on YouTube. It will only be on, again, tradecaster.com. Little heads up, I'll be live streaming every single day over on TradeCaster, growing the account, getting after it. But that is the only place. I want to see committed traders. I want to see people that are here, people that are willing to change their life, people that are willing to put in the work. So right now, traders, Hermes, how are you going to give us the money? I'm going to probably, again, it depends on how much we win, but I'm thinking about picking 20, 30, 40 people. I'm just going to PayPal you. So no, it's not like, oh, Dek, how are you going to give us, the cash? Or are you going to give us the cash through, again, like some sort of prorated membership? Unless you want that, I'm just going to give you guys straight money. Maybe we do this. Maybe, again, I'm gonna travel to, again, 5 different cities. Denver, New York, Miami, Naples, Florida, San Diego, and Tulsa, Arizona. And I'm going to just have a bag of money in a duffel bag. And I'm going to take a picture exactly where it's at. And I'm just going to leave it and post it on my Instagram. Or actually, just post it in chat. And I say, good luck. First person to find it wins. Should I do that route? Should I do that route, guys? That sounds pretty exciting. That sounds like we could turn that into a TV show. The S&P 500 traders, we are getting ourselves all ready to rock. So the SPY, we have a lot of potential here. We're going to continue to keep our eyes peeled on it. Maybe that's what I'll start doing, guys. Maybe that's what I'm going to start doing. I feel like that would get chaotic. I could imagine if all of a sudden I say, hey guys, I'm leaving $5,000 at this random location. First person who gets it wins. And then all of a sudden some people start, getting a little crazy. Then all of a sudden viewership starts growing. Followers start getting bigger. The handout, the money prizes that I'm leaving, we start turning into giant scavenger hunts. Everyone can participate. Everyone can watch. I drop one clue. $1 million scavenger hunt. Anyone can find it. Boom. It's inside of, again, a postal mailbox on 5th Avenue, down again the corners of 2nd Street. People are, again, jumping out of windows, diving for it. There's a guy in a hang glider. Jets are flying on through. Mobs are going insane. I don't know. Things will get a little bit nuts. We'll save that for 2025. We'll see it. Claire, can you write that down? 2025? We'll save that for 2025. Guys, S&P 500, let's be honest with each other. Let's be straight up with each other at this moment. Is there any sign of bullishness? Is there any sign of bullishness at this moment? I would accept one answer. One answer is the only thing I would accept. Okay? And the only thing I would accept here out of this one answer would be, Dek, I see that we do have a a bottom here. But other than that, we are still underneath the VWAP. We are still downtrending. We are still building lower highs. We have not seen a higher low yet. We have not seen any actual buying momentum yet. So bears still have control. We gapped on up, overbought. Profit taking has happened. Downtrend has happened. VWAP has happened. Finding some sort of potential bottom support. This could be it. Right? That could be, again, a little bit of bottom support. Low of the day has been 573.30. We're only 7 cents away, though, from a brand new low. So we could be crashing on down here very shortly. Down towards what price? 572.90. The original old spiking high. 572.90. So we're gonna keep our eyes peeled on this, guys. We'll keep our eyes peeled on it. So let's be all set here. Now, also, guys, I know what everyone's thinking. Guys, I know what every single person is thinking at this moment. I get it. I understand. So, guys, why don't we just address the elephant in the room right now? Why don't we just talk about it? Okay? Yes. I got a brand new haircut yesterday. It looks great. It looks fabulous, guys. Stop blowing up the chat rooms telling me. I mean, it's just, I got it. I understand, guys. I get it. I understand. I thank you. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, but hey, let's focus on stocks today. Guys. No, not more about me. Not more about me. Let's focus on stocks. So the S&P 500. Let's get ourselves prepared here. We're still watching for a little bit of that higher low. Waiting for that setup. Ba. SPY. Let's see if this thing is going to crack. A little bit of a bear flag pattern starting to form. Lower lows, main supports, getting into another corner wedge. We know, again, these corner wedges, this is where we definitely start getting some squeezes. That's where we start getting some drops. That's where we start getting some weakness. S&P 500. Want to see if this is going to be able to crack on down. Right now, it's just a little bit of patience. Little bit of patience before we get those higher lows. And I would rather be a person that teaches you about patience. I'd rather be a person that says, hey, Dek, you have taught me to be disciplined. When I first started trading, 10 trades a day wasn't enough for me. I wanted 20 trades a day. But what we need to remember is, again, trades do not equal profits. It's not you trade 100 times a day, you make more money than someone who trades 1 time a day. You trade 1 time or 2 times a day with high quality setups, you are going to be able to make profit. High quality setups, high quality trades. Trades that, again, are going to have high profitability. Odds in your favor. Not the tourist, be the house. Don't be the person walking into the casino, be the casino. That's what we want to do. So the SPY trying to find a little bit. Still looking for a little bit of support line. Guys, a little bit of a crack here still. Guys, new low of the day. S&P 500 coming up to our first dip buy opportunity. Now, Dek, we don't have any higher lows, but we did just come on down to our first dip buy opportunity. Where are these dip buys coming from again? Remember, we're looking for our dips at the old spiking high. So let's go back to the very beginning of the day, right? If we go back to the very beginning of the day, what did we talk about? We said we want to try to figure out the best potential game plan to be able to enter. Now, the smartest way to trade is to be able to wait for higher lows to form, wait for an uptrend to form. But if you are someone that's a little bit more risky, we know that this blue line is going to be our main target. Sometimes the S&P 500 is going to bounce slightly above it. Sometimes the S&P 500 is going to bounce right at it. And sometimes the S&P 500 is going to bounce slightly underneath it. So basically what we have here is a game plan for you. A game plan is going to be get in slightly above the old area of record highs of 572.90. That's going to be this orange line. Get in right at it, get in right underneath it, and have a hard stop loss total underneath everything. If you are willing to go ahead and jump in on that dip buy. Now, if you're saying, Dek, I want to make sure that I have more consistency, a better chance of winning, well then don't jump in until we see what? Until we see some sort of higher low. Don't jump in until, again, we are cracking these lower highs. Don't jump in until we have momentum shift. Right now, this bear knife is still falling. Right now, bears are in control. Right now, we are still, again, dropping on down towards new lows. So the thing is, we did just hit the first orange line, that 573.20 mark, 573.18, 19 area, a little bit of a bounce before the main support line. But we are still fading. We have yet to build higher lows, yet to be able to keep spiking on up. So we want to consistently keep this one on watch. I want you guys to understand what I'm doing. I want you guys to understand what I'm gauging out of here. I want you guys to be able to learn from this, see what I see, have the same visual, have the same senses, have the same ideas. That's what I want. Still getting a little tight here, traders. Make sure if you guys are watching right now, you guys are smashing that thumbs on up. Traders, we do have in 2 minutes, 10 o'clock. Now, we talk about this every single day. Every single day we talk about the fact that 10 o'clock, we do start seeing some volume. We do start seeing some action. We do start seeing some volatility. Do we have any sort of economic data here at 10 o'clock? So we have Thursday, today, September 26th, 9:20, Jerome Powell gave some opening remarks. 9:25, John Williams speaks. 10 o'clock, pending home sales. In the next minute here, we could potentially see the S&P 500 spike up very well or potentially turn on down very well. I think in the next 55 seconds, we are going to see the S&P 500 get a nice move. And the reason why is because this pending home sales data is definitely going to give us an idea of how inflation is hitting the economy, how are, again, the average consumer doing, what are current home sales at, are people buying, are people selling, are people holding money, are people starting to get more loose, is the economy going to get stimulated? So there's things, again, that we want to be looking at in the next minute here. So we do have Thursday, September 26th, 10 o'clock. We usually have news. Today is pending home sales data. Little heads up, tomorrow is the biggest news. Tomorrow at 8:30 a.m., PCE data, PCE index, core PCE. 8:30 tomorrow is the biggest news of the day. Little heads on up, or the biggest news of the week. Here we go, guys. 30 seconds out. Potential pop or potential new low. You can get in now, but you are gambling slightly. Again, the easiest thing to do is just wait for a higher low to form. Or, again, if you want to do puts, just keep holding until, again, you with a stop loss above the VWAP. If you ever get above the VWAP, don't keep holding your puts. Momentum could easily start shifting. But as of now, 10 seconds away. Let's see if we get a little bit of action. And again, putting the odds in our favor. Remember, just realizing that we have news at 10 o'clock. Just realizing that we are going to probably see volatility in the next couple seconds. It is very helpful for us to be able to put those small little advantages in our favor. And be able to say, oh, wow, okay, hey, I knew there was going to be some sort of momentum right here. I knew there was going to be a potential break towards the upside. I knew there could be a potential pop or squeeze or drop, because if we again realize that 10 o'clock we have news, well, now I can be prepared for it. So traders, take a look right here. Take a look at the S&P 500. Is it shocking? Is it random? Is it crazy that all of a sudden we have this green candle? Team, biggest green candle of the day. And it's because all we did was just do a little bit of research. All we did was a little bit of research to get an understanding of what we should be focusing on and what we can be looking at. So traders, Deck, should I buy right here? Again, the best area to buy is wait for some sort of uptrend to form. Wait for some sort of higher lows. We are still, again, we came up towards that VWAP, still having a little bit of trouble at that VWAP area. Had a quick little spike, now coming right back on down though. Had a quick spike, now coming right back on down. Right now, SPY staying alert on this. Obviously, we want to see some higher lows form, get above the VWAP, start seeing if we can spike and climb back up towards around those record highs. Last few days have been a little bit slow, so I'm very itchy to pull the trigger here today, guys. But man, it does not get better than this. As we already talked about, small account challenge coming on up. Then on top of that, we do have presidential elections coming on up. We have end of the year coming on up. The most profitable time of my trading has always been October, November, December. That 3-month stretch has always been my most profitable time in the market. The time that I have been able to make the most amount of money. I've showed you guys this multiple times. But the thing is, if you guys are wondering, why do I like to do the small account challenge during the fall time? Is because that's the time that we see usually the most volatility, right? That's the time that we usually see the most action, the time that we start seeing a lot of hype. Now, why is that? I know it sounds crazy, guys, but stock trading is a little bit of seasonality. Now, you might say, how is again stock trading seasonality? Well, a lot of you guys might be able to relate to this. What's starting to happen right now? Right now at this moment, what's starting to happen? Well, I'll tell you right now, the leaves are starting to change. It's starting to get a little colder outside, then a little darker, a little earlier. Starting to get a little bit more wet out there. It's not as appealing as when it is in June or July or August, is it? Traders, what also is happening in June, July, and August? Not only is the weather better, so you're outside, but also kids are out of school. So parents are again with their kids. They're traveling around. They have to do this. They have to go at that. People are going on vacation. What happens as we get into October, November, December? Well, people are inside. It gets dark early. It's cold out there. No one really wants to go outside. So now again, people are in front of their computers. If people are in front of their computers, guess what? There's more volatility, more volume, more profits. I don't care if the stock market goes up, if the stock market goes down. But as long as people are trading, if we want to think about that across the world, about how many more people are now in front of their computers, probably the most volatility I've ever seen in my life was again back in 2021, where again everyone had to stay inside, right? 2021, you guys can't go anywhere. You guys can't do anything. Everyone just stay inside. Well, guess what happens, right? Everyone's saying, oh, hey, I want to trade. I want to trade stocks. So everyone's investing money constantly. So the thing is, traders, that's what happens basically every winter. Every winter, it's like a mini 2021 where people are inside. So now, again, they're investing. They're going crazy. So that's why, again, when you're wanting to have success on growing a small account, this is why I do it during this time. Right, you guys have seen all my P&Ls on the small account. The small account that I turned $4,000 to $80,000. $80,000 in profits. I again go through this entire thing. If you guys haven't watched this video already, go ahead and watch it. But what was my first month that I started off on the small account, breaking this all on down, showing again my profits? First month was September. I made $1,200. Again, next month, right after that. All right, we have our September profits here. Then again after that, we have October, $6,000. Then November, $10,000. Then December, $12,000. Then January, $23,000. And you can see how it just keeps on going. Oh, you probably didn't even see that. Dang it. Let me again get out of the way here. But again, essentially, what we have right here is I'm showing all the P&Ls that I have. I'm just moving out of the way at this moment so you guys can see it all. September, $6,000. October, $6,000 right there. November, $10,000. December right here, $12,000. January right here, $23,000. Right? You can see as again, basically as it gets colder, the more profits that come on through because the more volatility. We had a little backdrop in February, right? February right here. March was 14,000. January, I'm trying to get February here. February, 10,000. And then we finished off with March there. Final statistics, guys. 18 losing trades, 41 winning trades, 59 trades total. So if you guys, again, want to go ahead and check this on out, I'll just post this link over in chat so you guys can go ahead and watch this whole entire thing. All my P&Ls are in there from $4,000 all the way up to $80,000. So make sure you guys go check that on out. Guys, look at the SPY crack there. SPY just got a pretty big dump. SPY. Now, Dek, where did we just come on down to? We just came on down to 572.74. Now, Dek, what is this area? This is the mark. We had our first entry, second entry, third entry did not get hit. Now, let me ask you guys a question. We have finally hit our main area of support. Okay? We're finally here. We have finally hit our main areas of support. We go back into that 30, 50-minute time frame, whatever you guys want to look at. We can scroll on back here, and we can see we have hit the first orange line. We have hit the blue line. We did not come on down underneath it to 572.60, but we have hit 572.90. We have hit 573.15. And now, guess what? Let's wait for a higher low to form. Traders, have I steered you wrong today at all? Have I told anyone that so far is a time to do bulls or calls or buys or breakouts or any of that? Haven't we been talking about this whole entire time that there has not been a reason yet to go on the call side? Now think about this. How many the old you would have pulled the trigger 5 times already looking for a dip buy? The old you would have again pulled the trigger saying, oh yeah, hey, I want to see if it's going to move on up. Traders, even though we're at our support line at this moment, let's just wait for a higher low. Let's just wait for the break of the downtrend. We know again the S&P 500 is that train going 100 miles per hour. Sure, we think that this is the bottom, but if we hit the brakes here, we're still going to skid probably a little bit. How do I feel confident? How can I jump in with confidence? Jump in after a higher low. Jump in after the break of the downtrend. Jump in at the break of the VWAP. Right? So I want to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock over on these plays. The S&P 500, making sure that you guys are all good. Molly, Sean, do you have a video on how to work Lightspeed? I feel like I've watched your entire library. I'm actually going to have a Lightspeed associate come on in and give us a lesson on the entire brokerage before the small account challenge. So the thing is, guys, if you guys are using the same exact broker that I have, we are actually going to be having Lightspeed come on in, Rob, and he's going to go through all the best ways to trade for a small account. So I got that all set on up, all hooked on up for you guys so that you guys are all good, ready to go. So yep, if you guys want to use my broker for the small account, everything right here, it's right there. You guys do get discounts. You guys do get limited, you guys get cheaper fees if you guys go through that link right there. So make sure you guys go check it on out. I work closely with them, but they are going to come on the mic, come on the stream, and teach us what are the best trades, best ways to be able to lower our commissions for, again, small account trading. So that's going to be fun. So we are, again, excited to see what we got here. Ready to see where this momentum's going to take us. Ready to see where the hype's at. D. Carlos, Greg, right now at this moment, I'm just giving you that heads on up. Right now at this moment, there are no free 7-day passes over on TradeCaster. So I am giving you that heads up. There are no free 7-day passes over on TradeCaster at this time. So we have been having free 7-day passes for like the last 3 years. We did just turn them on off. We plan on turning them back on at a selected time, but at this moment, they are not on at this moment. So I just want to, again, throw that out there, tell you guys, let you guys all know that at this moment, if anyone is, again, coming on over, there is no free pass at this moment. In the future, we definitely will. Don't know exactly when that will be, but sometime in the future, absolutely. It's just we've had it for the last 3 years now, so we want to make it a little bit more selective. Right now, S&P 500, again, a first little dip buy. Now, Dek, where are we getting our first little dip buy? Blue line represents the old record highs. So I want to make sure that we're all set here. Make sure that we're all set. Make sure that we're all ready to rock. Dek, I want to sign up right now. Can you give us some sort of promo? All right, give me 2 seconds here, guys. I will give you some sort of promo. Sounds good? But let's keep our eyes peeled over on the S&P 500, but I will give you a deal. I promise right here. Just give me a second for this to load on up, and then we'll be all set, ready to rock. So S&P 500, watching and waiting, seeing where this momentum's going to take us. All right, awesome, guys. I hooked you on up. So again, there is no free 7-day pass, but I'm going to leave this for today and today only. If you come on over and you, again, click buy now on whatever, type in the word fall, and your first month's going to be 30% off. Okay? So today and today only. If you come on over, I just turned this back on. If you guys want to join Tradecaster, if you want to upgrade your subscription, if you want to do anything, come on over, type in the word fall. If you type in the word fall, you'll get 30% off. Okay? So there is, again, for today only. I'm going to turn this off after the live stream. So if you guys are interested in 6-month, 12-month, lifetime, whatever, signing up to Tradecaster, type in the word fall, and you will get 30% off. That is for today and today only. Little heads on up for you. Guys, all right, S&P 500 starting to build, guys. S&P 500, so far, perfect dip buy has been at the old record highs. Perfect dip buy has been at the old record highs. Love that. I love that so much that we're at the old record highs. Now what's happening? Bounce, 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 bounce. Guess what? Old support is now holding up as a little bit of resistance. Guys, can we have orders ready, though? I'm going to have SPX typed out. SPX typed on out right here. You can still see what's going on with SPX. SPX still has this very nice downtrend. Now, Dek, where's this downtrend like break over on SPX or SPY? That's not until, again, 5,758, where, again, we would be breaking out of that area. We could also, again, what we want to do is basically connect the dots. When we come back on down towards around 5,750, we could start seeing, some sort of new dip buy on up. I want to see some higher lows form. Can everyone see what I see right here over on the SPX chart? SPX, or again, if you're looking over on the SPY chart, what I'm seeing at this moment is I do see a clear-cut downtrend, right? We can all agree on that. We have been fading and falling all day. Now, what also I'm seeing is I'm seeing a little bit of higher lows starting to form. When do I think buying volume is going to try to move in? I think buying volume is going to try to move in if we can bounce off this bottom trend line 1 or 2 times, come up towards the top area, and break through this. So I do think, again, a call contract will be coming on up. I think 5,760 is an absolutely A-okay to be able to have a call contract. I think, again, you might want to go to September 30th to do this call contract, switch over to a market order, do 1 contract at a time, and we basically are going to be watching and waiting to see if we are going to be able to get any sort of break. So I want to see if we're going to be able to get any sort of break, any sort of squeeze, be able to start spiking our way on up, get closer towards that VWAP area, break that VWAP, and start getting some momentum. But traders, we have not lost a single dollar today. Why have we not lost a single dollar? Because we have not done calls when, again, the market still shows bearishness. So we are not doing calls when, again, the market is showing bearishness here. We want higher lows, guys. Watching SPX, this is kind of like a closer higher low to be able to squeeze here. Now, again, I can leave it up to you guys, and I can ask you guys, do you guys like this form of trading? Less trades with more accuracy. Less trades with more confidence. Less trades with more discipline. Less trades but still profitable. Or do you guys like trade 20 times, win half, lose half, maybe you nail a big one? I mean, I'm not saying the way that I'm trading right now is your way of trading. Some people say, oh, Dek, I like trading 30 times a day. That's fine if that's your thing. I would rather be a sniper. I would rather, again, trade with confidence, trade where I know the odds are in my favor, trade and say to myself, hey, if I got to sit back for 45 minutes to be able to guarantee that I'm going to make $500, that's a lot more simple for me than, again, trading 20 times and just hoping that one of them hits. Deck, how about small cap say? DUO. DUO trying to spike itself on up towards 185. KTTA. KTTA starting to build itself on up. We are starting to get a little bit of hype. Now, I will also let you know JS11 coming on up, though, for the small account challenge. How am I growing the small account challenge? I've told you guys this before. What is going to be my strategy for, again, growing the small account? I will tell you this right now. Every single time I've done a successful small account challenge, because there have been times last year I didn't do it. I didn't grow it. This is just me being open and honest and transparent. I'm not going to sit here and say, again, I win every single time. It's a very tough thing to do. But every single time I have ever been successful in growing the small account challenge, it's from buying low-priced, low-float stocks that are between $2 to $10. When we get to October 14th, we are going to be getting ourselves prepared and ready to rock and roll to be able to nail some big breakouts, nail some big spikes, nail some big moves. Like, we are going to be looking, right, for those crazy rippers and runners. So if you're saying, Deck, I want you to go back and trade penny stocks, I want you to go back and trade the smaller caps, I want you guys to go, I'll let you know. Coming up on October 14th, the small account challenge is going to be small caps to be able to double, triple, quadruple our accounts. So make sure that you guys are prepared for that. Make sure you guys are ready for that. Make sure you guys are on top of that we are going to be going back to that for the small account. So we do have DUO right here, which definitely has potential. Upper shadow at this moment. But I know there are so many people that are excited to say, hey, Deck, options are fun every now and then, but I want to do a little bit of the crazy small account crazy stuff. Guys, that's again DUO. That's KTTA. That's TBIO. That's again me putting in $4,000, $8,000 in buying power. A stock goes from 50 cents to 60 cents, and there's $2,000 right there. So there's going to be a lot of craziness, as we know, coming on up. And I know, again, that's gonna get some of the boys fired up here. It's gonna get the locker room all set, ready to go. Whew! I'm ready. I'm ready. Right now, the S&P 500 traders, take a look at what's happening. Are we doing anything nuts here? The S&P 500 so far has yet to break out of this area. The S&P 500 so far has yet to be able to squeeze and spike, has yet to be able to break this move, has yet to be able to break the downtrend of the day. We have yet to get above the downtrend of the day here, team. Obviously, SPX is still inside this downtrend as well. Downtrend break, we could see some volume. Deck, where's the best area to enter? Let me ask you guys a question. Is the best area to enter, the SPY or SPX, is the best place to enter for a breakout? Well, we've hit the top and we have fallen. We have hit the top and we have fallen. We've hit the top and we have fallen. We've hit the top and we have fallen. And then we bounced, and then we bounced, and now we're coming back up to the top. I will tell you this right now. The area with the most risk is going to be buying for a break of this line. Because if we think about it, we've had touch this line and fall, touch this line and fall, touch this line and fall. So far today, there has been a 100% success rate that when we hit the top gray line, we fall back on down. So that's why it's tough to say, okay, well, let's buy at this gray line for a breakout. So either your entries, you either want to get filled on the pullback back on down towards this area, or you really want to get above this area first, pull the trigger, and be willing to have a stop loss if it goes underneath the line. So it's Deck, pull the trigger on a dip buy, pull the trigger on a breakout, but have a stop loss underneath this line and a stop loss underneath the gray line on the top side. So we want to keep close stop losses no matter what. The longer we're inside this little wedge, the better chance it has of a breakout. So far, we are completely bearish. So far, we are, again, still fading all day. We are finding a little bit of higher lows. Dip buy opportunity is coming on up. Break of this area is where buying volume is going to move on in. But if we just have another upper shadow and fade back on down, it's going to lead towards the next leg on down here. So, every single person that has been here with me so far, every single person that is sitting on your hand so far, every single person who has not pulled the trigger just yet, every single person who has said to themselves, hey, Deck, I want to wait for the best opportunity possible, you guys are doing gorgeous right now. You guys are doing amazing. You guys are doing exactly what you should be if you are 0 out of 0 at this moment. Now, if you've done some puts today, hey, shout out to you. Congratulations if you guys done some puts. But the thing is, I was looking for some calls. So I'm not going to do calls hoping that again all of a sudden the stream changes directions. That's not what happens, right? We know that we are at an area that we are going to get very tight here. Very tight coming on up. The corner of the wedge is usually where the squeeze happens. It doesn't always mean massive spike, but what I will say is the corner of the wedge is where the squeezes usually happen. You guys want to see this? Take a look here. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Corner of the wedge is where the squeeze happens. Traders, we want to see if we're going to get to this corner to break on out. Because right now, remember, it is still all bears. It is still all bears. Still a big downtrend all day. Bears are in full control at this moment. So we want to see, can we rip? Guys, we're trying to hold on up right at this area, as you guys can tell. For the small count challenge coming on up, it's going to be all starting for, again, small caps and buying for breakouts. I will do shorts. I will do options after probably we cross like 15,000. So, but from 4,000 up to 15,000, I'm going to be looking for a lot of small, penny stock, low float, hot news breakouts. So kind of start getting yourself in that mindset. Start getting yourself prepared for that when it comes on up. Traders, right now we are still underneath this line. Underneath this line. We can all see it. There's no... the thing is, when you know what you're looking at and you see what you're looking at, there's no emotions, right? There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason to be fearful. There's no reason for you to say, oh man, I hope I don't miss out on this. The thing is, traders, we are looking for that switch in direction. But if you are saying to yourself, hey, Dek, what if I just do puts? Technically, you are good to go as long as this main downtrend holds. As long as this main downtrend holds, there is zero cons in doing your put contracts. Zero cons in doing your puts as long as this downtrend holds, guys. That's it. So any put traders out there that have been saying, hey, Dek, I'm just holding tight on my put contract. There is no issue whatsoever as long as that purple downtrend continues to hold. Bob Adams, does the corner of the wedge on the downside mean anything? Yeah, that's, the same exact thing. If we get to the corner of that wedge, corners is where we get squeezes. It's as easy as that. Corners are where we get squeezes. 10.23 in the market right now. Jojo saying, Dek, I'm more disciplined now because of you. Woo! Bah! Let's go. That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. Every single day. Every single day I want you guys more disciplined. I want you guys to be able to follow my strategy. Act like me. Talk like me. Every morning, wake up, 4 a.m. Immediately get out of the bed, 500 push-ups. Immediately at 4 a.m. You'll finish those on up probably right around 4:15. Jump in the shower. Get a nice shower, wake yourself on up. Go downstairs, have your personal chef whip you up something with heavy carbs, with protein, and even maybe a couple slices of fruits. After that, you're going back into the shower. Yes, 2 showers within an hour. Very important. After that, another 500 push-ups, and then we get our day started. Okay? So, everyone start doing that. Little heads on up. Traders, let's keep asking ourselves the question here. Let's keep asking ourselves a question here. S&P 500. Is there a reason to be buying this play yet? It has been all bears all day. Think about the old you. The old you would have looked for a dip buy here. The old you would have been scared and again had FOMO here. The old you would have again said, oh, I'm looking for a breakout. Traders, we're making our lives easy. We're making our lives clean cut. We're making our lives so simple right now, where we have placed a trend line and we're saying we are not even touching the calls until we break this downtrend. And you know what? We know at the corner of wedges is where we get volume. At the corner of wedges is where we get activity. At the corner of wedges is where we get big sell-offs or spikes. There is no reason for anyone to be in on a play on the call side right now, as I've been stating for the past hour and a half. Let's use our head. But I know there's someone right now. Guys, I'll be honest. I know there's someone in right now on the call side. And I could say, Dek, why'd you jump in? And they say, I don't know. I thought it was going to move on up. Your thought, your gut feeling, your lucky rabbit foot, that old pizza crust that you keep in your shoe because, again, you think it's lucky. Throw it out. Means nothing. Play the trend. Take a look. There's a 100% success rate on this trend. We hit the purple line, we fell. 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 100% success rate so far. We hit the purple line and fall. Either you're doing puts or you're sitting on your hands. Truman, sometimes hot press releases don't lead to high spikes. Why is that? Usually, again, the number one reason would be because they're larger floats. If a stock comes out with positive phase 3 data, and again, the stock does not spike, it's usually just because it's a larger float play. So I do want you guys to always remember that. Now, there is not much news here today, little heads on up, but you could see, the positive data right here, positive phase data that, all came on out. 3-star press release. 3-star press release was one of the best plays. Even SVRE. SVRE, guys, 3-star press release right here, has an agreement. It's currently red right now, but again, SVRE was nuts this morning, wasn't it? SVRE, this play in pre-market went crazy. So again, a lot of times, sometimes plays may not hold on up, but they do go on these very big spikes. They do go on these very big rips, and they do go on these very big runs. Also, we talked about this, a little bit, just a little heads on up. Tuesday, I believe it is going to be Fox Runners update. So on Tuesday, for every single person, they are adding a few different things. Number one, they're adding top gainers of all stocks. So the thing is, you guys can see right here, every single play, if it has news or not, it'll be top gainer, top gainer, top gainer, top losers of all stocks if it has news or not. Then it will break it down and say top gainers with news and filings. And it'll show you what top gainers are the best plays with news and with filings. So it's not showing you all plays that are gapping up, and if they have news, it'll show you right at the top right here to make your life very simple. Then on top of that, guys, we have congressional trading that they're adding. The congressional trading is going to, again, be showing you every single government official, and is going to be showing you when they bought, how much they bought. You can break it down, filter it, Republican or Democrat, how much they invested in, did they buy, did they sell, whatever they did, and again, give you the total amount, of absolutely everything, which is just, absolutely great. Then on top of that, you can search a specific stock. So if we wanted to search, let's say Apple, you can go ahead, click Apple, and you can see every single government official, how much they invested into it, and the date that they bought and sold, which is awesome. If you want to pick a specific government official, let's say Nancy Pelosi, you could be able to put in that person's name, you will get that person, and they will again show every single, a trade that they have made. You will get their entire portfolio, and you'll be able to see how much they're buying, what they're getting involved in. You can see it all behind me right here, so you're all set. You can also click this button that says add to watch list. Now what that watch list is that is going to alert you every single time that person, that politician buys or sells something. So we might see Nancy Pelosi. Every single time she buys or sells something, it will give you an alert of what that person is doing, how much that person is making, what that person is getting itself involved in, so you're all set, ready to go. So you can click, see exactly what they did and how the stock has moved since that time period. So that is going to be very big also. Something else they've added is, again, up in the top search bar, they had added congressional trading activity. So you can see every person who has bought and sold on that specific stock. Also live stock trades and stock splits up at the top search bar as well. So just, again, some cool things that are coming on up, so that you guys are fully aware of that, and you guys have everything. That's going to be on October 1st, that update's coming. After this update, they told me their next update is going to be noise notifications, noise alerts, which will be whenever a 3-star press release comes on out, you can pick the keywords that you want read to you. So out of all of these hot press releases, if you again pick any of these keywords and select noise notification, it'll say, hey, KTTA just came out with positive data. Hey, SVRE just had an agreement press release. So it comes out of your speaker, so you don't even have to be watching the scanner. So that's all coming on out October 1st, a little heads on up. As you guys know, I work very closely with Fox Runner. So again, that's why I love them. I use them. Again, I've always, again, help promote their products because I use it every single day. And again, it's a brand new scanner, which they're adding a ton of stuff towards, which, gets me fired on up. So make sure, again, you guys go check that on out. October 1st is when that's starting on up. How much is Fox Runner? $69. 69 bucks. Front, are you using mobile version or Lightspeed for the small account challenge? Until I get to 5,000, so I have to make I'm going to use the web version for the first 1,000, then we go to pro trading, and then we can use the other one, unless they give us some sort of exception. Ralph Deck, did you just get a haircut, Butter? Yes, I did. Yesterday. Nice little fade. Guys, S&P 500 still getting weaker here. Traders, we are still good to go. Man, I will say this though. When this downtrend breaks, guys, we are going to know the entry. When this downtrend breaks, we are going to have the entry all set for us. When this downtrend breaks. Deck, what do you ask for your haircut? Simple. I say, hey, I want a half on the sides with a high fade. Not again a small fade. I go high fade, half on the sides, fade it up, high and tight, and then we just do an 8 on the top. So go a half, fade it up, higher than normal, high and tight. Then on top of that, you do an 8 on the top. Then on top of that, you start hitting the gym, you brush your teeth a little bit, you re-download Bumble, and you start just living it up. Dead Star Deck, do you have a link for Fox Runner? Yep. As I said though, the update's not until next Tuesday. So just a little heads on up. The update is not until next Tuesday there. What does the purple line represent? Purple line represents the downtrend. So what does this purple line represent? It represents, again, the downtrend that has been holding all day. All right, traders, we still have the S&P 500, and we have another, again, potential wedge forming here. Another potential wedge that is forming at this time. I know we're getting ready for that trade. Getting tighter and tighter and tighter inside this wedge. Bears are in control. Is there anyone here? Is there even like one person here that has been saying, hey, Deck, I've been riding puts all day. And because of the trend line that we have, because of the trend line that we see, because of the trend line that we have spotted, you haven't pulled the trigger at all on calls. You've just been riding puts the entire way on down. If you guys have, that's, been gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I know a lot of people are also asking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA here. Come on, NVIDIA. No. Every now and then, trade ideas. Just I have to refresh it. Close the program. Give me 1 second. I know NVIDIA, again, hit a strong barrier yesterday. Had a very strong resistance line. And I wonder if that is the reason why we are starting to see some fades. I wonder if that's one of the reasons why we're starting to see some drops. I wonder if that is one of the reasons why we're starting to get a little bit of weakness here. So I do just want to open this up real quick. NVIDIA. Traders, same exact thing. I mean, take a look. Oh, NVIDIA had a little gap up, but you guys see what I was looking for? Take a look right here. Take a look at what NVIDIA had. NVIDIA had top resistance, fade on down. 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 So NVIDIA, you know, this is a play that's right here, you know, at this area. We're keeping it on high watch and high alert. Also, side note, S&P 500. Let's go back to a little bit of a tighter time frame here. We've been on a 1 minute time frame nearly this entire day. And we're going to see if we are going to start breaking some barriers. We want to see if we can start breaking some opportunities. Now take a look, guys. Same exact thing. SPY, SPX, both are coming on up looking for some breaks. There could be that potential breakout here soon. That potential squeeze, that potential spike, that potential opportunity, that potential, again, you know, move on up. It could be coming. We've had, again, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, and now, again, hitting once again, top resistance. Can we get a break here? Can we eventually go from the bearish side to the bullish side? If we want to make this our lives extremely simple, let's make our lives as simple as possible. All you have to do is type it on out. Bears, right? Every single trader knows that this side is the bearish side. And every single trader will know that this is the bullish side. And that's really all it's been. That's all it's been throughout this entire day. Where the bears have been sitting on one side, the bulls are going towards the other side. And now again, buying volume is doing its best to be able to push these plays on up and starting to get a little bit more hype. We are testing the line right here of the bearishness, the bullishness. We are again hitting and dropping and hitting and dropping and hitting and dropping and hitting and looking for that break. And can we actually get the first break of the day about an hour into the day? We have been downtrending this entire day, this entire way here, as again, traders are watching and waiting to see if we are going to be able to get that squeeze. Now, if you are in right now, if you're in on calls at this moment, I completely understand. If you're in on calls at this moment, I am not again opposed to that. We actually starting to squeeze our way back on up here a little bit. I like how we're starting to build. Guys, right now is the time. I'm going to do one contract. I'm going to do one contract just in case we squeeze very hard, but I'm only doing one because I'm going to add on a pullback. So I'm only going to doing one contract right now, but then I will add on a pullback just in case it ever squeezes and goes crazy. So I'm just doing one contract, first trade of the day. If we do get a big pullback, that's where I'm going to add probably 2, 3, 4 contracts. Just little heads on up. But I just want to get myself involved in something just in case it ever squeezed. Just in case it ever squeezes. So my first one contract is in. But again, I do want to wait for a higher low. Now, Dek, why'd you pull the trigger to begin with? Pull the trigger to begin with because, again, the stock is breaking from bearishness to bullishness. What do we honestly want to see? We want to see higher lows form. This is where we can add 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 contracts. You know what I mean, guys? So there's the first break. Now, this is only one contract at this time. I will add more again on a bigger dip or something along those areas. If you guys did get filled on this play, notice. And again, even if you're not in right now. Okay, guys, even if you're not in. Let's just take this as a learning experience. Even if you're not in at this time and you're saying, okay, what can I gain out of this? What can I gauge out of this? How can I become a better trader out of this? Can you guys clearly see where, again, the bearish side is? Can you guys clearly see where the bullish side is? Does this make it easy to be able to read? Does this make it easy to be able to understand? Does this make it simple? Are we simplifying your trading here where you can clearly see where we have a downtrend and where, again, we could be forming this new uptrend here? Can you guys understand why I only did one contract? Is I don't want to buy a ton at the very tippity top. I'd rather, again, get involved just in case it does squeeze and spike. But I would rather, again, get in more towards the bottom, back down near around that 572.90, 573. But if this squeezes because it's been downtrending all day, hey, let's go ahead and make a free $200 out of it. So that's my thought process here. Traders, remember, when I pull the trigger, I want to pull the trigger with accuracy. When I pull the trigger, I want to be able to pull the trigger with odds in our favor. When I pull the trigger, I want us to be able to have a better chance of the bulls going up and down. Now, I will tell you right now, buying at the very tippity top here, do it with one contract if that. If you're saying, Deck, I have a smaller account, wait until we get a higher low to form, okay? So again, this is a smaller trade for me, just because I want to at least have something in case it's squeezed. And I can't, state that enough. Now, what I am going to be looking for, as you guys know, is some sort of higher low. Higher lows to start forming, some sort of higher low. Now, I also do have September 30th expiration. Not today's expiration, not tomorrow's expiration, but again, Monday's expiration. Deck, why are you going so far out? Because if I'm going to hold this for a little bit, if I'm going to get involved in this play for a little bit, I want to be able to have, again, not have to worry about time decay so much, right? So we've had our bearishness, switching over to bullishness. Watching this play, and let's see if we get our higher low to form. Deck, where will you enter? I will re-enter after a bounce and a re-break of 573. Just little heads on up. So there, again, I want to see if higher... Now, Deck, what if we crack underneath 5... Deck, worst case scenario. Let's just play this. Deck, what if we crack back underneath this uptrend? What if we crack underneath this uptrend and we are back underneath the downtrend and things are looking weak? Guess what? I get out. That's why I only have one contract. Traders, I'm not full porting it. Guys, it's starting to hit my stop loss. Boom, out. I'm getting out right here. Guys, I'm out right here. Now you might say, Deck, oh, haha, you lost. Guys, I did one contract because I didn't want to, again, go full port yet. I did one contract, keep things as small as possible, and let's see if we can build higher lows. Days of blowing up accounts should be in your past. Days of losing tons of money should be in the past. Days of, again, getting yourself caught up in massive losses should be in the past. I would rather, when I take a loss, it's a paper cut. No one has ever died by paper cuts. People die by, again, getting a sword stabbed into them. What's a sword? A sword would be, again, holding and hoping. Holding and saying, maybe it'll come back up, maybe it'll spike, maybe it'll... And it doesn't. So the thing is, one contract, out. One contract to see if it spiked, and I was going to add if it could bounce back up. We still haven't had our higher low. So traders, when I'm trading right now with a $55,000 account, that's what I have in my account right now, $55,000, and I lose 260 bucks. Can someone tell me the percentage value of my account that I just lost? Right? We're talking minuscule. We're talking the smallest amounts possible. Right? Less than 1%. Now, if you are saying, well, Deck, I lost $260 and I only have $500 in my account. Well, again, that's the issue. You guys have to understand. Losses should be like this. Wins should be like this. We're waiting for higher lows to develop. We'll pull the trigger heavier and more when, again, the stock starts getting back above that area. So we are trying to build on up here still. Still trying to give it a chance. It's got to get back above this downtrend. That's, again, huge for us. Huge for us to get back above this downtrend. Right now, the same exact downtrend that has been holding has been the main area. We did spike and dump. That was another little spike and dump. That's why we stay small and we add as it goes. We add as momentum stays up. We add as, again, things continue to climb. Traders, I'm here to teach you how to win. I'm here to teach you the correct way to lose. I'm here to teach you, again, the way that we should be entering plays. Very small. We're going green on this day. Once we get the reversal, we're going green. I don't care if it takes another hour. I don't care if it takes another 2 hours. If this day consistently stays red, then you know what? Worst case scenario is I'm going to have a very small loss on the day. But right now, we still have this downtrend. We are still watching. Guys, we are back underneath the downtrend right now. Same exact thing as we've been looking at. We are back underneath this downtrend, and we are watching to see, can we get back above that 573 area? Keep your losses tight. Make sure, again, you're following your game plans. So far, that was the only trade that I liked towards the upside. That's the only trade that I liked. Right now, guys, it's back to bears. Right now, we are back to bears and just understanding, again, understanding how, again, this market is currently moving. Waiting for a higher low, waiting for a re-break of that downtrend, giving a test. This is one thing, traders. Let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever, let's say this. Okay, let's do this. Has anyone here not pulled the trigger before? and then the trade ended up as a loss, and you say, yes, whew, thank goodness I didn't pull the trigger. But then at the same time, you don't pull the trigger the next time, and it could have been a massive win. And you say, dang it, it could have been a massive win. Oh, why didn't I pull the trigger there? How many people here, there's two different types of traders. The people that over trade and the people that are scared to trade. Traders, I'm just addressing the people that are scared to trade here. You cannot be scared to lose a little bit of money in the market because your job is investing. You can't be scared of heights and be a pilot. You can't be scared of water and be a scuba dive instructor. You can't be scared of public speaking and be a motivational speaker. You have to be willing to be able to adjust to it. Now, if you're scared of losing money in the market, it's because you are using too much money in the market. Let me ask you something. If I took away $1 from you, would that make you scared? Would that affect you? No. What about $5? No. What about $10? No. What about $100? I would start getting a little angry. What about $1,000? Oh yeah. So $1,000 is your $1,000 we can't play with. That's too much money you're willing to lose. What about $250? Okay, well $250 is okay. What? So the thing is, think about right now, where you are willing to always pull the trigger, but you are also not going to get scared. Right? You're going to pull the trigger because you can accept that this is what you signed up for. This is the job that you are willing to trade. And you're never going to make money. You're never going to make money if you don't pull the trigger. So something you will see about me is I'm always willing to pull the trigger at the correct areas. And if it doesn't work on out, then let me get out. But the thing is, I'm going to pull the trigger, at least give myself a chance. So that's why, again, it's so important as a trader to understand this. Now, the S&P 500 here, team. We are starting to build a little bit. Kind of like a new little uptrend and downtrend mark. Let's see if this can start building a little bit better. Right now, again, we're waiting for that reversal on that turn. FPR Pro says, Dek, first day back in chat in 4 years. I made 25% gain. I'm excited to make some money in the small account challenge. Let's go. Let's go. Baby. SPY here, traders. Let's get ourselves ready to rock. Let's get ourselves ready to rock. Let's get ourselves dialed in here. And guys, if this thing cracks, it's still all bears, as we know. You can't fight the trend. But this is where, and I know I keep saying the old you would have jumped in and kept on holding and hoping, and now you're crying, and now you're upset, and now you're saying, oh man, nothing ever works out for me. Traders, have stop losses. I will tell you right now, team, you guys want to know why people blow up accounts? This right here, okay? I'll break it on down for you. I'll make your life simple. This right here is why people blow up accounts. I lost $260 on a $55,000 account. I lost about less than 1% of my account today. The reason why people blow up accounts, and I personally have never met anyone who has done this. I have never met anyone take a small loss, 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 and did that for 4 years until their account ended. I have never met anyone in history of existence of stock trading who has ever again blown up an account by doing this, by taking small, smart, less than 1% losses of their accounts. That's not why people blow up accounts. People blow up accounts because they do the small losses for, let's say, a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they say, man, I'm going to hold this one. I saw the last one I got out, ended up, bouncing back on up. And then this one goes dink, and then you lose 75% of your account on one trade. People do, I lost 1%. I lost 1%. I lost 1%. I'm just getting tired of ending up losing. I'm going to hold this one and lose all 75%. You will never blow up an account by taking small little pinches, right? By taking small little paper cuts. But will again blow up your account is, again, if you get stabbed with a sword. If again, someone again whips out a bazooka and hits you, that will take you on out. So the thing is, you will never blow up an account if you are willing to put in the work, you have quick stop losses, and you learn from them. So traders, what did I do? For me today, as you guys know, I said to myself, hey Dek, we have been underneath this downtrend all morning. For the first time at 10:30, I again jumped in right here. Once it went back underneath right here, I got out of my play. Is that a bad trade? Can anyone here, can any trolls on the internet make fun of me for seeing that over the last hour and 10 minutes we've been fading and falling? I jumped in when we broke this line, and I got out when we went back underneath this line. That's disciplined trading. That's smart trading. Are you kidding me? That's how you do it. That's how, again, you get yourself involved. That's how, again, you be able to win the maximum and lose the minimum. That's how we do it around here. Lorenzo Deck, when are you starting a small account challenge? October 14th is the small account challenge. October 14th is the time that, again, you want to take off of work. The time, again, you want to send off the wife and kids or the husband and say, hey, get out of here for the next 2 months. That's the time, again, you want to bring the shades on down in the windows. You want to, again, get a set on up with a little bit of water, a couple extra batteries, and a couple flashlights. Small account challenge going to be getting nuts. SMCI. Ooh, wow. SMCI here, traders. Is this halted? SMCI. Wow. Guys, did SMCI, someone tell me right now, did it just get called out for like fraud? Did something just come out on SMCI that said like they're fraudulent again? SMCI, most recent news. What do we have here? A class action filed lawsuit against investors. Hold on, SMCI, let's go over to the news here. So this was earlier this morning that there was a lawsuit. That was at 5:45 a.m. Is there anything else? There has to be something on SMCI, which has just led to this play. Federal justice whistleblower. So yeah, they're getting called out for fraud again. They're getting called out for fraud most likely. Oh baby, I mean, jeez. Okay, things might get a little nuts here. Let's see this, guys. SMCI. This can make you a ton of money. SMCI got halted at 10:48 and 36 seconds. It'll be a 5-minute halt. A 5-minute halt would lead towards SMCI getting unhalted at 10:53 and 36 seconds. Can someone drop a press release? So now Hindenburg issued a report that they were cooking their books. Right, basically making up numbers to make their business sound a little bit better. And then now the Department of Justice has just again taken control on this. SMCI, October 4th, how low can we go on down to? 425, put contracts, market orders. We have now dumped $21. We could see SMCI dump even more. Guys, SMCI is about to open on up here. This thing could get absolutely nuts. This thing could get crazy for every single investor and every single trader. If we get a little bounce back on up, I would give this a chance in the next 5 seconds. Deck, why would you give this a chance? We have SMCI getting investigated by the Department of Justice. When this opens on up SMCI, we could see this play possibly dump all the way on down. I mean, we're all the way down to 418 right now. Take a look at this, guys. We actually dumped down way lower than I thought. So now we're back up towards 421. 422, 423. I'm thinking again, a little spike on up and then watch our big sell-off all the way back on down. So if we can bounce back on up above that 430s, I would look for an entry at around 435. 435 or so, I'm going to look for a put contract and then see if this thing can come crashing back on down even more. So Department of Justice taking on over. We had a low of the day of 418. If we can go up towards around 435, I'll look to see if this thing can start getting a little bit weaker and start fading. 430. 431 it got up to. Guys, there's so much money to be made on this play. It's moving so fast and so quick. It has so much room to fall as well. So much room to fall. So much room to get weaker. SMCI traders. SMCI could easily go sub 400 today. Easily could go sub 400 today, being investigated by the Department of Justice. I just want to see if we get a couple dip buys. If we get a dip buy back on up before a big sell-off all the way back on down. So take profits when you have it. SMCI, this has been a crazy one. Already from 475 straight on down to 442, straight on down to 436, straight on down, and it seems like we're about to hit some new lows. We just came on down to 418, still getting a little bit of dip buying and bounce playing here, guys. A little bit of dips and bounces. I will look for a put contract in the 430s, but we might not see the 430s again. Remember, this is getting investigated by the Department of Justice. We could see this thing crash to $400 here. Anyone in on the short side? Anyone in on puts already? So far, this thing is still getting weaker. Now, this is a play you are going to have wild swings. You could be up $2,000 in the matter of a few minutes. Guys, we are now dropping even more. Look at this thing. We're down $45 on the day. Guys, I mean, the hardest part of this trade is to pull the trigger. The hardest part of this trade is to jump in after a $45 drop already. That's the hardest part of this trade. The hardest part of this trade is having the confidence to say that this is going to fall more and more and more, which I think it's going to. And look at it, we have now fallen another $10. We are down towards, again, the price of $409.55 so far. So I know, again, the hardest part of this trade is just pulling the trigger and saying, hey, you know what? It will keep on going lower. SMCI, what's the absolute low? The lowest this has gone down to is right around that 380-ish mark. So the lowest it got on down to is right around that 380 area. And that was, you know, earlier in the month. See how much. Right now, again, this is a play. SMCI, a lot of traders are on top of. Man, this thing is still getting weaker. This thing is still fading. This thing is still dropping. Traders, it's getting investigated by the Department of Justice. You know, this thing should go all the way on down to 300, honestly. Like, this thing should keep on dumping and dumping and dumping. It's just, I hate buying at the very bottom. I hate buying at the very bottom. I hate being the person getting at the lowest area. I hate doing it. I mean, there's been 430 so far. It's all the way down to 408. This thing is still getting weaker. This thing is still cracking. Traders, I'm going to just get involved for a quick, you know, I'm going to try to take profits when I have them. I'm going to try to get in, take profits when I have them, see if this thing can dump on down to 400. I'm in right now. I don't like buying at the bottom. I hate this. I hate this position. I'll be honest. I hate everything about it. But if this thing just gets a quick little crack, which it should keep on going lower, make $500 plus, and again, get out of this play is my goal. So the thing is, I'm telling you right now, I hate this trade. I hate everything about this trade. I hate buying at the very bottom. But again, seeing the Department of Justice, again, you know, investigate a play, it should keep on going lower and lower and lower. But this is one that's not fun. We're up $530. I'm taking my profits right here. $240 made back my loss. All right, guys, guys, that was the least fun trade I've ever had in my life. That was the least fun I've ever had in making a quick profit. I did not have, because the thing is, I hate buying a stock after it has already fallen $50 on the day. Now, do I think that this play is going to keep going lower and lower and lower? The answer is yes, I do. It's getting investigated by the Department of Justice. There is no way that this play even, you know, gets any sort of bounce pretty soon. But I just hate being a person that's chasing. I hate it because I've been burned so many times in my life. I've been burned so many times in my life where, again, I jump in and it seems like, oh, it should keep on going lower, and then it bounces back on up. So I basically just made back my loss from earlier. I was up $580. I did get out, and the spread basically took away $200. But this thing has just been dumping all the way back on down. So look at that play. Look at that play still falling. Look at this thing just absolutely falling apart. I was up $580, but when I clicked sell, the spread was just so big. So the spread has been so big here. And that's why. Now, Dek, would you jump back in on this play and see it get weaker? I mean, team, this is the least fun I've ever had in making money on a trade. It's like, it's just brutal. SMCI here. Fraud and DOJ is involved. Dek, how much lower can it go on down to? 380 is the lowest it's been. And then from there, we can keep seeing this thing fade. It seems like, again, SMCI is getting dragged on down as well, or the SPY is getting dragged on down from the SPY. You know what's always really crazy? Guys, so one of my favorite things to do over on SMCI, go to the monthly chart. Take a look at the monthly chart. Look how crazy this looks. It literally just looks like one big pump and dump penny stock, right? It just looks like one big pump and dump penny stock. That's all it is. One big pump and dump penny stock over on SMCI. So that play has just been getting crushed here. Dek, let's take a look. 30-minute time frame. Now, Dek, would you ever get involved on a dip buy? Getting involved in a dip buy that has committed fraud is usually not the best thing, right? Just take a look here. This was the first. So Hindenburg, let's just take a look here, guys. Hindenburg came out with a press release. Now, if you guys do not know, I'm going to explain this all to you guys right now, okay? I'm just going to make your life extremely easy and extremely simple. Hindenburg Research. What they do is they investigate companies that have unusual activity, and they try to find, is there anything suspect going on? So when we take a look over on SMCI, SMCI has been a stock throughout 2023 and 2024, which has gone on a spike like no other. This play went all the way from $58 to at one point being over $1,200 per share. Then things started getting a little suspect. Things started getting a little iffy. How is this stock going from $50 to over $1,200 per share? And Hindenburg, earlier this month, came on out with their research saying that they are not accurate. They are cooking their books. Now, what does it mean by cooking their books? Maybe adding a little bit of numbers here and there to make some things look better. Maybe, again, getting a little whiteout, add a couple extra zeros here and there. So SMCI, they're underneath a lot of pressure. When this first came on out, the stock went from $534 and crashed all the way down towards $380. We fell $120 in the matter of one day. Then some things calmed on down. But what can you guys realize today now? Today, at this moment, this ginormous crash that is happening at this time is because now the Department of Justice is now getting involved. Hindenburg put it out, said, hey, they're cooking their books, they're lying, they're fraudulent on what they're doing with their taxes, what they're doing with their revenues, what they're putting out to investors. And now the Department of Justice is now taking over the case. So guys, do the Department of Justice take over cases that aren't real? Are they taking over cases that, hey, you know what, no big deal? No. What do you think every investor right now in SMCI is doing? They're freaking out. They're saying, I've invested hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars into a company that's not even real. That's not even legit. That's not even what we thought it was. So what do you think they're doing? They're taking out their money. They're taking out their profits. They're saying, I'm getting the heck out of here and running. Take a look at what SMCI looks like at this moment. Does this look like a sustainable company? Does this look like a company that has been following the rules? Traders, when we look at companies that follow the rules, we take a look more at Apple. Right? Apple is more of a slow and steady, big red candles, big drops over on the monthly chart. This is from, again, 2018 all the way to 2024. We are seeing a nice, again, 6-year climb here. Beautiful. SMCI is a 12-month climb, and we saw over a $1,200 increase. Pretty nuts to be thinking about. So that's what we have at this moment over on SMCI and why things have been going nuts and why things have been going crazy. Guys, we are live and SMCI is back. Guys, SMCI is back and dropping even more. Now, we will get a small bounce play, I believe, off 380. 380 is a small dip buy because that was the old low when Hindenburg called them out the first time. Hindenburg called them out the first time, and we are getting a bounce here. I would say, how high can you go back up to? I'd probably say the 430s. 430s. If we ever get back above the 430s, I will pull the trigger on a put contract. If we ever get back above the 430s, I will pull the trigger once again on a put contract. See if I can make some money. Right now, traders, again, craziness. And this is probably what's also dragging down the S&P 500. So again, Dek, why does the S&P 500 move? Well, the S&P 500 spikes and drops depending on what the stocks within the S&P 500 do. So if the S&P 500, if the SMCI is within the S&P 500, guess what? We're getting dragged on down here. So you know what I'm very happy about? We did not let emotions get to us today. We did not let we let our discipline stay in control. We made sure we got involved in plays that had good opportunities. We are not putting ourselves in plays that are only going to hurt us, right? Everything that we've been doing, absolutely awesome. Possibly Deck, are shorts better than options? You know, so the thing is, SMCI, what's the issue with shorts, guys? Can anyone tell me what would be the issue with shorts on SMCI? It's not a trick question. There's no trick question here. It comes on down to the pure fact that SMCI is $398. Guys, if I wanted to buy 1,000 shares of shorts, I would have to have a $400,000 account. Now, I just bought, or I leased out, right, 200 shares for a total of $4,000. So most people can afford $4,000 to be able to do an option trade. Most people can't afford $403,000 to get 1,000 shares on the short side. Shares are always better. Shares are better. Shares are more consistent. Shares don't have, again, time decay. Shares can be able to make you a ton of money in a quick amount of time, just like options can. But the thing is, they cost a lot more, right? So that's all. That's the biggest issue here. Guys, if we bounce back on up towards 430, I'm pulling the trigger. Little heads up. We bounce back above 430, I'm pulling the trigger over on this play on the put side. That would be too big of a bounce, and we should see a pullback back down towards, again, like 409. So if we get back above 430, I'm pulling the trigger on another put. So we got a nice little move on up. $20 spree so far. Happy again, meet back my loss from earlier. Or the majority of it. But let's see again, SMCI. What this one could be able to do for us. Let's see if we can, get a little bit of momentum. Spike ourselves back on up. This would be the contract that I do on SMCI if we start seeing like that 425, 430 mark. The implied volatility is insane right now over on SMCI. Yep, absolutely. That's why I'm waiting for a spike. I want to see like a little bit of spike. I want to see kind of that implied volatility kind of die off a little bit. Implied volatility is a huge thing. And that's another reason why shares are better. You don't got to go through that implied volatility. So let's see if we can get a spike back up to 430. That implied volatility, it'll drop. And then also that should be an area where we reverse again. I would do SMCI October 4th, 420. Doing put contracts, market orders, once we get back up towards 430 if we do get this bounce. Now, if we do get that bounce, then gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. The S&P 500, probably try to get a little bit of a dip buy as well. S&P 500, let's go back over to our time frame, guys. Guys, S&P 500, you guys tell me, are we still bearish or are we bullish? We are still bearish on this day, aren't we? We are still bearish on this day. This entire day so far has been on the bear side. This entire day so far has been moving off towards the bearish side. We have been dropping and fading after hitting a brand new record high. It has been a day of, again, weakness this entire time. S&P 500 trying to build itself back on up. Deck, what if we break this downtrend? Could we look for a trade? We could look for a trade, break up this downtrend, right? So again, the S&P 500, we could ignore SMCI because it has so much implied volatility. I'm going to actually type back over SPX here. SPX. Could we again possibly start breaking this area and maybe start getting a little bit of a squeeze? September 30th. I'm going to do September 27th. Because I think we could squeeze 5,755 market order. We're back above 572 at this moment. And see, can we consolidate here a little bit and squeeze on up above that line? Can we squeeze on up, go back above the bullish line? Because the thing is, let's be honest, every time we have come up to this purple line, we had a quick spike and then we dumped on down. And here's a quick spike and then we dumped on it, and a quick spike and we dumped. So we're thinking that one of these spikes is going to break and rip and run. Like, we're waiting for one of these spikes to actually break and rip and run. Or your other option is, Dek, I'm going to do a put contract at the price of 572.20. Hey, Dek, at 572.20, I'm jumping back in on some put contracts. I could definitely understand that as well. I mean, you're just playing the purple line the entire time here. SMCI still, again, focused over on this play. Over on SMCI. Daniel saying, Dek, I'm new here. What's your strategy? To make money. To make lots of it. To profit in the market. So unfortunately, Daniel, I can't just tell you, like, you know, what's my strategy? I mean, my strategy is safe, consistent, smart trading with high reward and low risk. That's what I like to do. Well, Dek, how do I learn that? Get on over here to tradecaster.com. Watch me trade every single day. Get on over to tradecaster.com. Get into the video library. Start studying on up. Right? So get on over here. Study up our lessons. Watch, again, all the best chart pattern lessons. Watch all the candlestick bootcamp lessons. Figure out, again, Dekmar trade strategy lessons. Psychology in the stock market. Learning about options. Learning about shorting. Everything along those lines. So again, these are all things that, you know, it takes time. Unfortunately, I can't give you a 30-second answer that's just going to make you a profitable trader. You got to be able to learn it all. Again, guys, if you guys want, today only, I am getting rid of this discount in the next 50 minutes. Next 50 minutes. Come on over. If you guys put the word fall into the promo code FALL, you will get 30% off. There is no 7-day pass, but if you guys do put fall in, you will get 30% off. If you guys are interested in upgrading a membership, or if you guys want to come on over and start a membership over on Tradecaster. So again, type in the word fall and you'll be all set. SMCI still looking for, again, this possible break back on up. Right now, SMCI still getting weaker. SPY still watching this one. Can the S&P 500 finally start building some sort of higher lows? Give me 2 seconds, guys. Gonna step off the mic here just for a moment, but we're not going anywhere. Little heads on up, guys. Is everyone down to trade until we go to like 12 o'clock today? I want to be able to find a good winner for us today. Now, SMCI was a nice dropper right there. We pulled the trigger, but can we? Is everyone cool if we trade for another 45 minutes? Is everyone cool if we trade for another hour? Is everyone cool if we wait until we get a perfect trade and a perfect setup for us to make some money today? Is everyone good with that? All right, so give me a second here, and I will be right back on the mic. We'll be all set, ready to go. All right, guys, thank you. I realized that I have been talking to myself the last 5 minutes and literally no one heard anything I said. So again, I appreciate you guys telling me that I've literally have just been sitting here and talking by myself for the last 5 minutes. Thank you so much. So thank you. Other than that, let's get back to it, people. So let's get back to it at this moment. SMCI here. Want to continue to keep our eyes peeled on. Waiting and watching. SMCI, if this play gets back up towards, again, that 430-ish mark, that is going to be the area that we want. The S&P 500 team is holding this area very well. I like this a lot. I like this a lot here. We are holding this area very well. Things are, again, holding at this moment. Trying to see if we can be able to climb on up. A little bit of the squeeze, a little bit of this potential, a little bit of this opportunity to be able to start moving on up here. So bounce, bounce, top resistance, top resistance, top resistance, tighter, 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 tighter. And again, as we get tighter and tighter and tighter, we are looking for this squeeze on up. We also do have the SMCI, which obviously SMCI, you know, Department of Justice here. Let's just actually just type this on in. Let's just see what we have here. Super micro computer. Let's see what we got. Super micro computer, 16 minutes ago. It says Super micro stock takes a dive after Wall Street Journal reports of DOJ probe. Shares of Super micro computer down 12%, took a 13.1% dive in the morning, trading Thursday after the Wall Street Journal reported that the server makes artificial intelligence play was investigated by the U.S. Department of Justice. Just before the release of the Wall Street Journal, which cited people familiar with the matter, the stock was up about 4%. The report of the Department of Justice probe comes after the short seller published in late August reported alleging accounting red flags, which is then by the company saying its annual report would be delayed. So guys, if you guys do not remember, so basically Hindenburg said that there are red flags here. There are things wrong. And then SMCI said, yeah, we don't want to put out our earnings report anymore. Because once you put out an earnings report, you are putting out a formal statement. You're putting out a formal statement to, again, investors saying that these are what our numbers are. Right? Ooh. You can't put that on out. Someone's going to jail. So they say, yeah, okay, we're not going to put out our earnings report anymore. So that's been the big issue over here. That's been the big problem over here. So SMCI here, traders. We are continuously keeping our eyes peeled on this. And we are watching, again, I am watching SPX over on this bottom chart for any sort of higher lows. You know, that is something that is very important to me. Going back to this, you know, taking a look, grabbing this, trying to complete this here a little bit. And right now it's still showing SPX still getting weaker. Right now, traders, I made back my loss, basically. I was down again 200 bucks. Made back 200 bucks. What's up, puppy? And now again, the puppy just came in. So now we're all set, ready to go. Now it's a game. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Right now, we are all set, ready to go. Keeping our eyes peeled over on these plays. Obviously, waiting, watching, looking. We do have the SPY, also SPX, starting to bounce a little bit. So you see SPX bouncing right off this trend line area, right off the area it wants to be able to see here. I want to see if this is going to be able to hold on up. Look at that little bounce right there. That's a good sign. So I'm actually going to correct this to that same trend line. Basically what I have over on SPX, correcting it to the same exact thing that I have over on SPY. So we can continuously keep our eyes peeled on this to see if this is going to be able to hold on up. We do have a little bit of a downtrend that has been forming throughout here. Currently down $20 on the day. Looking to be able to make some good cash and be able to make some good money over on this play. So far, it's basically been a full day of weakness. Reese, is that wedge that is currently forming on the SPY usually an indicator or a reversal? Again, you know, I can't tell you 100% if it's going to go up or down, but what I will tell you is that reversals usually do what? You know, reversals usually, corners usually lead to high activity areas. So I cannot tell you if a corner is going to go up or down. A lot of times corners that are building higher lows lead to spikes. A lot of times corners that lead to lower highs lead to dumps. But what we can guarantee is that there will be volume in the corner. There will be activity in the corner. There will be, again, some sort of momentum in that corner. Traders, we are staying alert here. We are staying alert. We are staying ready. We are staying on top of it. It's going to be a big day here. Aaron, your boy just joined the Tradecaster community. Shout out to you, Aaron. Welcome to the squad. Enjoy all the live streams, the video library lessons. Something that, again, we always do for all of our people. Again, when you guys join Tradecaster, I just hear these things. This is what people, again, always tell me. People say, again, when you are underneath 6 foot, if you're a guy, for some reason over the next 2 months, you're going to wake up and you're going to be above 6 foot. You're going to grow a few inches. People say if you've been losing your hair, all of a sudden you're a Tradecaster member, so your hair starts growing on back. I don't know what it is. Some people say, hey, Dek, I've been single all my life, and now again you're just flooding. You can't get away from all these women. I don't know. As for the women's side, people again have been joining Tradecaster and they've been saying, man, I've been getting so much likes and love on my Instagram. It's been fantastic. You are waking up tan. Ah, beautiful. No acne face, just looking gorgeous. I can't even look at you. You're so absolutely precious. I feel like I'm doing something wrong by staring into the camera right here. I'm, again, a fiancéed man. When you join Tradecaster, special things happen. That's all it is. Special things happen. I don't know where or how or what. It's just things happen. Things happen. So welcome, Aaron. I'm excited. Right now, SMCI looks like it's gearing up for its next dump. Little heads on up, guys. SMCI looks like it's gearing up for its next dump here. SMCI looks like it could easily come right back on down towards that low of the day over on SMCI. See these little lower highs? See how it's kind of like pointing down? See how we have this little arch on down? Basically, think of it as an arch. Imagine a tunnel. A tunnel, you have a nice move on up, you have that top spot, and then you start coming back down to the other side. That's almost like what SMCI has. SMCI has a spike. Again, we're building lower highs, and now again, we're starting to point on down. Easily start getting weaker here. SPX also still starting to drop here a little bit. SPX underneath this line thinks it start fading and dumping even more. SMCI has gotten weaker, and guys, SMCI might be picking up a little bit of steam here, starting to fade back on down. SPX needs to get a bounce play here very soon. If it doesn't get a bounce play, things are going to start getting ugly. Traders, potential SPX little crack. See SPX, little bit of a crack here. Just seems like bears have been winning this entire time, right? SPY starting to get a little bit weaker here. SPY, low of the day, 570.90. Guys, here comes a little bit of that crack at this moment. I'm actually thinking about, my final trade of the day, just do a put contract. I know this entire day, guys, this entire day I've been waiting for calls. This entire day I've been waiting for opportunities for a break of that trend line. This entire day I've been waiting for, again, that opportunity to break that trend line and start squeezing our way on up. We just haven't seen that break all day, have we? No. All day today, we have been fading and fading and fading, just waiting to go above. The only time we ever went above is we popped right here, and then again, we went right underneath it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get out. So I went after one trade and I had a great stop loss. My other trade, I felt like I was just buying at the very bottom after a $50 drop already. And that was, again, my only concern with that one. If you want to look for a quick trade, the SPY is starting to crack underneath its area right here. See, again, this trend line. So if you are looking for a quick trade, still bears are in control. Market order, 5,730 is what we could go to. See if we can get that next leg on down, potentially. Next leg on down, get a little bit of a sell-off, another big red candle to keep on falling, especially if SMCI starts turning here more. If SMCI starts turning more here, if SMCI starts getting weaker, if SMCI starts dropping back on down towards the low of the day, it's probably going to drag the entire S&P 500 down with it as well. Guys, the SPY still getting weaker here. SPY still getting weaker. SPY still fading. SPY still dropping. Not really too much going on here for the S&P 500. Guys, here comes a possible another new low of the day. Another new low of the day. Bears have been in control all day over on this play. It has just been a bear fest. SPX cracking its trend. SPX still getting weaker. It has been all bears all day. Now, again, if you said, hey, Deck, today's a day that's been extremely red in the market, and you said all I'm down is $20, whew, let's go, right? That's awesome. Awesome job, awesome work. I think the best thing for us to do is just stay patient here, guys, for the trade that we want. What's the trade that I want? The break back above that downtrend. That's the trade that I want. The trade that I want is the break back above that downtrend. I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to, again, sit out on it. I'm willing to say, hey, you know what? Let me do the right thing. S&P 500 still trying to hold itself the best it possibly can. Molly, I'm not down anything so far. I've learned patience from you. Awesome. There you go. Bounce, bounce, a bounce so far. SPY, first little nice bounce here. SPY, bouncing still a little bit. Looking for this momentum over on the SPY. Be able to squeeze back on up. Call contracts. 5,745 is what would do. September 27th, 2 contracts. Looking to see, can we be able to hold on up, start squeezing ourselves, and start getting a little bit of momentum towards the upside as we get closer towards 12 o'clock. Bounce play, bounce play. Watching to see, can we be able to squeeze and hold and get that bounce. Now, the best entry so far for any sort of dip buy whatsoever has been bottom purple line, bottom purple line. And as you guys can see right here, it has been right around this bottom purple line. So this has been the best entry area so far if anyone's interested in pulling the trigger and getting themselves involved. If you guys want to wait, you got to wait another probably 30 minutes for this to be able to move completely sideways, re-break that downtrend. That's like, guys, I don't want everyone just sitting and not doing anything. I'm kind of telling you guys exactly what I'm thinking. The next time I pull the trigger is when we break this line. Okay? Just a little heads on up. The next time I pull this trigger is when we get above this line. When we get above this line, I will do another call contract to see if we can break on out. The other area that you could pull the trigger is, again, at the purple line. But if bears just keep staying in control, we are not doing any calls. You have to do puts right now until you break this line. Don't get emotional. Don't get FOMO. Guys, if you need to, take a second. Step outside. Go for a walk. Get a sandwich. Whatever you want to do. You don't have to, and no one's going to force you to sit in front of your computer all day and say, okay, hey, hopefully, again, this is going to be a good setup, right? So the thing is, all we want to do is be disciplined, smart traders. We know SMCI has been bringing this entire market on down. SMCI has been fading and falling. The S&P 500 still has been fading and falling throughout this entire day. This play could easily crack even more. The last thing we want to do is jump in when we're still on the bearish side and say, well, I hope it keeps going. I hope it goes up now because I jumped in. Does that make sense? You are one person out of hundreds of millions of billions of dollars that goes through the market. And because you invested $3,000 into the ETF, you say, well, now I'm in. I hope it goes up. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since you invested $3,000 into the play. Nothing. So the thing is, the S&P 500, we have to wait until we go from bearishness to bullishness before we do any sort of calls whatsoever. And if we pop on up and we break on out, great. And if we pop on up and we hit it and we get in and we go right underneath it, we have quick stop losses again. I am down $20 because I have quick stop losses. So that's the main thing about this play. I do want to open up the floor to here. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you guys need in any sort of way? All I want to do is help you on out. JP Deck, could you move your trend line up? You can move your trend line up here as well. So again, if you have a higher trend line here, trend line here, trend line here, I guess, you know, this would be a little bit of a stronger trend line. And then on top of that, we have like, I'm just saying, like, I'm just connecting some of these tops. This top, this top, this top. So a little bit of like a lighter trend line is all the way down here. But JP, you could be, you're 100% correct, right? Where you're saying trend line, top, 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 top. You know, that's the much better, like the top area of the trend line. Deck, do you have a course on how to trade penny stocks on TradeCaster? Absolutely. I mean, we have a 250-hour-long video library teaching you everything that you need to know. So you can come on over here and learn all about shorts, you know, shorting. You can come over here and learn all about level 2. You can come on over here and learn all about entries and exits. So everything is over on the video library. Make sure you come on over and check it on out. Are you going to trade when the Fed speak? Jerome Powell has already spoke today. So again, Jerome Powell spoke again at 9:20 a.m. That's not at 2 o'clock today. I'm going to trade when we go from bearishness to bullishness. I'll tell every single person that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TradeCaster, YouTube, wherever, I want to trade when we break this purple line. And that's basically going to be my trade today to try to get myself up $500 to $1,000. So really, again, you can copy the same exact thing I'm doing. Copy the same exact thing I'm doing. And when we go from bearishness to bullishness, that's where I'm pulling the trigger. So SPY still watching this one, keeping this one on high watch and high alert. Also, traders, as I already talked about, October 14th. Traders, I will tell you right now, I am not going to let you guys down. October 14th, small account challenge. October 14th is the time that we are going to start getting crazy. I hope you guys are ready to trade penny stocks. I hope you guys are ready to trade low floats. I hope you guys are ready to receive the money that I make. I'm giving it back to you guys. The money that I turn this account into, 4,000, 10,000, 10,000, 20,000, I am literally giving to you guys. There's no catch here. Some people are like, Deck, what's the catch? What's the catch here? There is no catch. This is literally free money if I make it. 4,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to... I just want to give back to the TradeCaster community. If you're a member here, I want to give you money. If you again say, hey, Deck, I have been working hard. I just need a couple funds to be able to get my trading career started. I'm just thinking about when I started. If we can turn 4,000 to 20 to 30 to 50, whatever it is, I'm giving that to you. There's no catch. There's no, well, you have to do this. You gotta do. There's no catch. If you are on TradeCaster, if you're a member of this team, I'm giving you money. Okay? Sound good? That's all it is, traders. So let's get ourselves prepared. Let's get ourselves ready. And let's get ourselves dialed on in. Seeing where this play is going to be going towards next. Right now, the S&P 500 already starting to get a little bit of a crack here. We're going to give this about 5 more minutes. I'm going to wrap things up at 11:40 here today, team. Wrapping things up at 11:40. SMCI. SMCI here, traders. SMCI, I think it'll drop back down to the lows. I think it'll drop back on down towards lows. I'm still, again, watching that one closely. And then we do have, again, SPY. So SPY, traders. Make our life simple. I'm going to move this out of the way. Going to move this out of the way. Down $20 on the day. And we'll be all ready to go. Pasta Boy Deck, I'm so happy. I again traded the SPY overnight. I was able to make $562. Let's go. I love when I see you guys profit. Deck, do you know why the SPY gapped up so much? I think the main reason was because what? Because we had that wedge. Let's go back to yesterday. Guys, remember this? Let's go over towards our news alerts. And what do we have here? SPY wedge. We have been watching this wedge for how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it just seems like momentum pushed on up, and we got that breakout. Momentum pushed up in after hours. We broke again, 571.50 resistance, large gap up. What happens when we break resistance? We squeeze, right? We had a 5-day top resistance. We squeezed up towards a new record high. Also, maybe hype and excitement as Jerome Powell spoke at 9:20. And then on top of that, traders, this is like the same thing. When we break this downtrend, that's where I'm looking for a squeeze and a spike on up. Molly saying, do you think it's worth waking up at 3 Central Time to trade? I would say be reasonable. I always wake up 2 hours before the market. 2 hours before the market. That's I would say like an average person to get prepared, to study, to do some work. So 2 hours prior. If you are like a pre-market trader, if you're not a pre-market trader, then like an hour prior. Have yourself awake, get some food, do some research, look over the morning newsletter, look over Fox Runner, do everything you need to do just so you're all set, ready to go. All right, traders. Guys, you guys know my game plan today. My scanner's going to be up on TradeCaster. I'm going to take them off YouTube, but I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for everyone who has joined us on this day. Thank you so much for everyone who has, again, been part of this absolutely amazing community. Get ready for the small account challenge. Get ready to rock and roll. Get ready to get fired on up and get ready to make this cash as always. It's a joy being here. It is absolutely fantastic to be on top of this team and be able to make some cash and be able to make some money. Every single person here. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Let's get ready to rock and roll. You guys know the drill here. In 3, 2, 1. Ah-hoo! Thank you, traders, for everyone who has joined us on this day. I hope you guys had a blast, and I will let you guys know I will be pulling the trigger when we go from bearishness to bullishness on some calls, looking to see if this thing's going to move on up. Let's do it. Amazing work, amazing job, and I'll see you guys later on. Shout out to this team, shout out to this community. Enjoy TradeCaster. Fall for 30% off, and again, let's get ready for the small account challenge.
I just made $30,000.
I don't want to work to be a trader.
There's some sort of internal desire inside of me that I feel like
Order filled.
$1,800, baby, just like that, baby. High of the day, 2070.
1,800, 257, 700, 1,300, 600.
$1,200 off the dip buy. $20,000. 15 grand. $4,438. $1,017 on the day. I want every single person thanking today.